All right, good morning, everyone. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority. It's January 9th, 2019. Present today are Commissioner Ford, Commissioner Fan, General Counsel Riano, Deputy Commissioner Licensing Held, and myself, Secretary Donahue. The next meetings of the authority will be January 23rd, February 6th, and February 20th. Those are all Wednesdays. Excuse me. We're going to call items in the order they're signed in for the most part. First in Buffalo, then Albany, and then in New York, although we will be taking some New York matters first. As your item is called, please approach the podium and speak into the microphone. We do have a heavy calendar of licensing matters on today, so we appreciate your patience as you wait for your matter to be called, and we also appreciate it that when you get up there, you be as succinct and brief as possible. If you've submitted anything in writing, we have it, and the members have read it, so you don't need to read that over again. All right, Commissioner Ford or Commissioner Fan, do you have anything before we start the meeting?
No.
Okay, then. Nope. The first item in New York is a request for a summary order of suspension. It's item 91-91A, Sugary Goddess Corp.
Ms. O'Hara.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
My name is Tammy O'Hara, and I'm an attorney with the State Liquor Authority. And today I'm here to ask you for summary suspension of Sugary Goddess Corp., doing business as Wahe Oyster Arca Wahiza. We're asking for this emergency summary order for a number of reasons. First, although Sugary Goddess Corp. And this licensee has only been in business for a little over 2 years. In the past year, 2018, it has become a focal point for the New York City Police Department, specifically the 34th Precinct. There has been 382 311 calls for a variety of issues. Drunk and disorderly patrons harassing residents of Washington Heights, excessive noise, fighting, large crowds congregating, blocking the roadway with illegally parked vehicles, assaults, larcenies, robberies. And the licensee has failed in its duty to prevent these issues from occurring. There has been a blatant disregard for the community board stipulations and violations of the conditions of the license issued by this board. The community board specifically was concerned with assaults, summonses, and code violations that would occur with a large amount of people congregating in the area where there's primarily residential buildings. Specifically, the community board requested that there would be no valet parking, no dancing, there would only be DJs on Fridays and Saturdays and special occasions, that there would be no hookah, and within months of the licensee receiving the license, all of those things were occurring, and they're blatant. They're blatant in that you can go on their Facebook page and you can see violations all over. Additionally, the licensee, we believe, that made false material statements on the application to this board when gaining the license. The licensee stated that she would be managing the location herself, and it is our belief that is completely false. In the amount of times that the police department has gone to the location, not once has she been there, been present. There's been a number of managers, which she indicated that she would not have. She indicated that there would not be any hookah, and that she herself recognized that hookah was a part of the problem at the previous location, Arca Lounge. And as I stated before, within months of receiving the license, There were advertisements on Facebook and Instagram about hookah specials, tables upon tables of hookah everywhere.
Counsel, excuse me for interrupting you. So the licensee, Christina Perez, she indicated in her filings with us that she would be managing the club directly herself.
That's correct.
Okay, all right.
She also indicated that there would be no valet parking due to the concern that in the area there was not a lot of parking. There was a lot of residential area. It was a very residential area, and we have evidence to suggest that they have been running a valet parking operation. That one of the valet attendants actually was arrested for reckless driving because he was driving on the sidewalk of the location. There's been multiple
Pedestrians on it, if I recall correctly.
That is correct, yes. There were pedestrians on the sidewalk at the time that he decided that it would be the fastest way to drive on the sidewalk. There have been numerous tickets issued for vehicles in that area. There have been numerous arrests for DWIs in that area, which suggests that the location is over-serving patrons who are then going out to their vehicles and driving, risking the public with the pedestrians and also other drivers on the roadway. Additionally, she claimed that she would be operating this as a restaurant, and we know that that is not true. There is we believe, and the evidence suggests, that there's an undisclosed speakeasy that is operating in a space connected to Wahiza, which is the pizza restaurant. And it is being operated as the Arca Room. On the advertisements for the Oyster Bar and Wahiza, there have been notes about a after party at the Arca Room.
You know how you have access to the Arca Room? Is it through the licensed premises, or is it a separate entrance?
It is through the licensed premises. It's the long hallway that you will enter through Wahiza, and you'll go down the long hallway, and then you'll enter into the Arca Room.
And Ms. O'Hara, I understand that regardless of this question of the managers, there's been people who've been identified as managers of the premises that have been issued summonses more than once for crowding and such things both outside the premises?
That is correct, yes. And additionally, in addition to the individuals that have been identified as managers, we also believe that there's an individual that has been availing the license of Ms. Perez, specifically one Junior Lantigua, who I believe was associated with Arca Lounge, which is the previous iteration of that location, which was ran afoul of the board prior to its closing. Mr. Lantigua, on his LinkedIn page, describes himself as the president and CEO of the Wahi Group, W-A-H-I, comprising of Wahiza, Oyster Bar, and Arca Room, and which are the two of the locations that are the subject of this license. So for all of those reasons, the State Liquor Authority believes that a summary suspension is warranted in this matter and that it should be issued.
The Arca Bar?
Arca Room.
Arca Bar is the prior, Arca Lounge.
Arca Lounge was the prior licensee.
Right, and they were canceled?
I believe that they were, yes.
Okay. And Junior
Lantigua, yes. We believe that he
is associated with the prior establishment, and it's now running Arca Room out of this.
Yes, that's the evidence that we have developed.
Okay. And how many cases do we have pending against?
Currently, we have 7 matters pending.
7 matters, stretching over how long?
From October of 2017 to basically January 1st of 2019.
Do you know how many total charges are still pending?
All of the matters are still pending.
Okay.
For the last few matters, I believe that there were approximately 20 charges for the last matter.
The last one?
Last one,
There are
yes.
20 charges just in one case?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Oh, and additionally, I do want to note that on December 31st, 2018, well, prior to that, December 28th of 2018, Ms. Perez was notified that, according to her license, she was required to be closed at 2 a.m. And at the time that the police arrived on December 31st / January 1st, at 2:01 p.m., 2:01 a.m., they were still operating, they were still serving drinks, the music was still going, and the police actually had to shut the location down. And I don't even actually believe that Ms. Perez was there. I believe it was Junior Lantigua who was present on New Year's Eve.
Do you know the relationship between them?
According to the 500-foot hearing minutes, Ms. Perez was a former employee of the Arca Lounge. And a part of her application was that she recognized the problems with Arca Lounge and was not going to make the same mistakes that she made prior, that were made prior.
Sounds like they applied as a different type of license and continued the same method of operation.
That is the evidence that we believe will show.
Okay.
You ready to vote?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Commissioner Fan?
382 311 calls, that's not easy to accumulate in 2 years. 68 direct patrol calls. This licensee obviously applied for a restaurant and is running 1 or maybe 2 illegal nightclubs out of the establishment. False statements, as counsel has mentioned, not really ever present, not really managing the premises herself. As a result, causing gang assaults, driving while intoxicated, robberies, larcenies, felony assaults, and lots of noise. A blatant disregard for stipulations in ABC law, as counsel has outlined. I think this provides a rational basis to call for summary suspension due to threat to public health, safety, and welfare.
Commissioner Ford?
To add to Commissioner Fan's statement, the 382 311 calls, I think there were actually, those were all just 2018 alone. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Which was the highest in the precinct. 68 calls for assaults, larcenies, DWI, 18 arrests last year. Supposed to be a restaurant, obviously not operating as one. We have issues of availing, and I won't repeat everything that Commissioner Fan has already put on record, but they are obviously an imminent threat to the public's health, safety, and welfare, so I vote to summarily suspend as well.
You're all set.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next item, also in New York, are items, it's 82, 83, and 84, Mexican Entertainment of Webster, Inc.
Morning, Commissioners. Martin Mailer, Mnmb Unlimited Llc. I thank Secretary for taking us out of turn. I have a hearing downstairs, and they're waiting for me down there. In any event, I have the licensee here and his mother. This is a situation where the New York State Liquor Authority, on 2 occasions this past year, meted out penalties of a fine of $3,000, a fine of $5,000, and both times there was a default. Then there was a third incident, or not incident, but a third notice that went out relating to sales to minors, and at that point, again, it was a default, and the members said, I've had enough, and voted to cancel. I'm here to tell you, in speaking to the licensee and his mother, that they did not receive the notices. Upon information belief, the
mother is a manager?
Yes, the mother and the father helped manage the business.
So who got the cancellation notice?
Who got, I think it was
Because
sent.
you obviously got that one.
Yeah, no, that was sent, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty certain based on my experience that an investigator actually walks up to the door and hands that one to the licensee. So that probably is what happened here. The point being, they did not receive, I'm not trying to poo-poo the violations, although outside of one assault, which they tell me occurred outside, and again, I'm not debating the whether there was suffering permitting, whether it took place inside. That's not the purpose of coming before you. It is asking that this all be reconsidered, along with another violation that they did actually receive the notice for, but I included it in this as opposed to pleading not guilty and demanding a bill of particulars. That one dealt with the trade name and also security guards. Other than the 1066 violation, they didn't have the signs up at the right time. There were security guard issues. They don't understand why, because they deal with a licensed security guard company. But again, I'm not here to in any way state that the charges are improper. All I'm asking is that this all be reconsidered, and I also want this to be taken into consideration. This licensee has been around since 1997, and until this, it has had a relatively clean history. It had one instance, I believe, of filing late, but other than that, it's had a relatively clean history. And I would ask that this licensee be given one more chance. I've told them that a new scanner would have to be put in to prevent any further sales to minors. I told them that change the security guard company, get more security in the place. There's been a change in the entire neighborhood, and maybe that is what has led to some of these incidents. I don't know. But I would ask that you temper justice with mercy and allow this licensee to be given one more chance. I also want to note, although I knew that this was going to be on for reconsideration, it says on the agenda sheet that a stay has been granted as to all of the charges. They've been closed since they were issued the cancellation order. So I don't know why that's there. It was never conveyed to me. I wish I had known. I would have told them to at least reopen, but they haven't. So if you're talking about meeting a penalty out, could you add the number of days they've been closed since the cancellation order went into effect, if that's what you want to do? But I'm asking that take it all, add $17,000 to what already has been meted out for a grand total of $25,000, and allow this licensee to reopen.
The trade name case you're talking about is not part of this, right? You're just mentioning that.
It should be. I don't know. Again, it's probably and I apologize.
That's a fourth proceeding.
Right, but I mentioned it in the body. I don't know why I didn't mention it on top in terms of what the license, what the number was. But the number, case number is 129880. In fact, that's there. One of the cases is not there. If I had to do this all over again.
So just so you know, that's not on here. So your 25 would not include that one.
Well, I would hope that it would. It's on my request for reconsideration.
I don't think I can do that because it's not.
How about, Mr. Mailer, how about this? If I can make a suggestion, and I obviously will defer to the members. I have 127767, 128517, 128661,
Those are the
currently in
three.
front.
Yeah.
Maybe I can make the following suggestion to the members, is if they want to reconsider it, to issue a penalty for all of these for $25,000, and then on case 129880, why don't you and I have a conversation as to how we can resolve that more simply we'll figure it out. How about that? Is that fair?
Absolutely. Fair.
Okay.
Yes.
When can you pay the 25,000?
Well, let's say it would be contingent on opening. We can't open until we pay it. So if you mete out the penalty,
Well, right now, I mean, I'm not sure there may be some miscommunication, but right now they can open because the chairman did stay the cancellation.
they can open. But all right, you have my assurance they won't open until they pay the $25,000. How's that?
Well, you have to vote first on
Well, whether you're going to
Yes.
do it, I realize that. Yes.
I'm okay with 25,000.
Thank you.
So 25 and stay closed until they pay?
I mean, honestly, I think they can open because the chairman stayed the cancellation. So let's just call it. It's end of the month. Good.
Yeah, well,
if you
usually
open.
the way it works is the notice
get a
is
letter
sent and I
from
have
us
20 days
in
to
the
pay.
normal
That's
course
the
of
normal
business.
course.
Okay, then 20 days from when you get the letter.
I have the renewal, and they're operating under SAPA now that the stay's been lifted. The members fine with me issuing the renewal?
I'm okay with it.
You good with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with granting reconsideration allowing them to stay open and accepting the $25,000 penalty.
I really,
instead of
thank you
canceling.
very much.
Mr. Mailer, so you don't have the license, your client?
No.
All right, so I'm going to suggest you go to enforcement, and I'll send them an,
I can issue the new renewal, issue the renewal.
All right, so we'll wait
Okay.
for the
So it's
renewal. I mean,
expired.
it'll make things a lot
Okay.
easier. It's fine
And
with
reach
me.
out to Bob on the fourth case.
I will.
We'll figure it out.
All right, thank you very much.
Just make sure that we have the right address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they do. That's the crazy part. You do. I can't answer as to why they didn't get it. You do have the right address, though. And I thank you, and have a happy new year.
Happy New Year.
Related, anyway.
Thank you.
and we have an interpreter in the next matter. It's item 72, Lucero Pizza Restaurant, Inc. I think we have an interpreter here. Thank you.
Yeah, they were held over.
72.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Hang on one second.
We already pulled it.
It's on your list, but further down.
It's for New York City, right? Yeah.
This is easier. You can just get here, Commissioner. Just take it out.
I'll accept, unless you have something to say.
You'll accept, that's fine.
This had been held over for the licensee to appear. I think maybe the chairman had some questions about the licensee staying in conformity with the application and the representations in it.
Understood. My name is Jonathan Schloss of law firm of Schloss & Schloss, PLLC. I'm here with my client, Irma Leticia Gonzalez Garcia, who's the owner of Lucero Pizza Restaurant, Inc., DBA La Costanita. No adverse history here. The first set of charges. Ms. Garcia has been cooperative when called upon by the police to use her cameras, etc. There are no fights or other reasons for police to come here. This is, again, first set of charges, and respectfully submitting a CNC with a civil penalty.
I think the chairman was looking for some assurance that there won't be any more DJs and they'll be closing when they're supposed to close.
There was some type of birthday party several months ago that had some DJ equipment. Spanish interpreter, can you please I'll get to that. The licensee will not have DJs at her premises. The licensee understands that the restriction on the license is to close at 11 p.m. And again, respectfully submit.
Is she closing at 11?
Yes. There was the August 5th, 2018 incident, I understand was an aberration. And if you could just talk about that. No, 2018.
La celebración ese día en su restaurante y que estaba supuesta a cerrar a las 11 de la noche y que usted cerró a esa hora. Pero que en la licencia no decía exactamente, en la licencia decía exactamente que a las 11 de la noche.
So she understands that it's a pizza restaurant and it's not a place you're supposed to have DJs, right?
She understands that, yeah.
Entiende que es un restaurante y es un lugar donde se tiene que ver un DJ.
Pero yo ese día no tenía DJ. Yo no tenía DJ.
Speak to the microphone so we can hear you.
They didn't have a DJ.
She expanded the menu offering to offer South American cuisine, fish, etc. But in terms of DJs, you understand that you cannot have DJs at the premises.
Usted entiende que en su localización no puede tener un DJ. Yes.
So this is what I would suggest. I realize that there's been multiple requests to change your method of operation. I would stick to 11 o'clock and no DJs and try that for a full calendar year and try to meet with the police department and get on the good side of the community and then come back for your change of method of operation and we'll talk about it then.
You would like any method of operation change to come to the full board?
Yes.
Sure.
And so we're going to accept the offer and then have
Yes.
Yes,
All right.
I'll accept 2,500.
Because it's going to be a vicious cycle if you keep opening late and then think that you're going to be able to change it while you're operating outside of the described method. It's not going to happen.
Yo no abro, cierro a las 11. Lo único que a veces yo cuando tengo varios clientes y tengo que quedo ahí cocinando, pero solamente uno. No se sirve alcohol, no se vende aquí.
She always closes at 11 p.m. She doesn't close late. When she have a party in her house, in her location, she stay inside the location, but close cooking for the next day.
I understand.
But the close is always, the
Alright,
door is
okay.
always closed.
So you tell her it's been accepted.
All right.
No, I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right, we're going to move to Buffalo. First item is 28, Sing Prem LLC.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Neil Weinberg. I'm the attorney for the applicant. I have with me Nathan, who is the applicant principal, and his son Jack, who will assist in interpreting if necessary.
Okay, go ahead.
Just a brief
Is there any
history.
opposition there?
There is no opposition present.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just a brief history. In April of 2018, a corporate change application was submitted, received a conditional approval, and one of the items was for a certificate of relief from disabilities to be obtained. And that had to be received by a specific date. I personally called the Queens County Supreme Court, was advised we couldn't get it by that date that the SLA required. As a result, the application was withdrawn. On August 8th of this year, the certificate was issued, and at that time, an application was then submitted identical to the first one on August 30th, 2018, which included the certificate of relief from disabilities. So as a result, everything that had been requested with the first application back in April was now resubmitted and provided to the commissioners with the application in August, and I respectfully request that it be granted.
Is that right, Jackie?
I did see that, yes, it is saying it is withdrawn. There's also, I mean, it is past history, but he was also disapproved twice for package stores at other locations.
Right.
There were two other applications, that's correct. And I'm not questioning at all what the board's finding and what they're saying, but without disclosing the two criminal matters that took place in 1992 or 3, it was a blatant error on applicants' part, and I'm not disagreeing. But since the last application, there has been no problems whatsoever. I've known him personally for many years. There's been no problems, and I don't foresee there being any issues with he, if granted, opening and operating in the proper manner.
This is just for a corporate
So
change.
you own the
Right.
real estate where the store is?
I believe it's all that led to all the disciplinary charges.
Yes or no?
I'm sorry, Commissioner, I don't think that they heard you clearly. Could you repeat
Oh,
it?
do you own the store where
Oh, yeah.
you own the real estate?
The owner of the store is 2788 Bailey LLC, and Mr. Mathan is the sole member of that LLC. It leases it to the applicant Sing Prem LLC, which is owned by Kohlwinder Cower. There is a membership unit purchase agreement that if approved, and this is granted, then the ownership of Sing Prem LLC will be owned solely by Mr. Mathon. So in essence, he will be landlord by owning 2788 Bailey LLC as a sole member. He will be the sole member of Sing Prem LLC, who is the applicant here now.
So how many liquor stores are in the family?
Oh, in the family, I personally have been involved with, how many do you know?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the brother has one?
Nothing
Well,
personally from me.
I'm sorry?
I have no like
No,
relative.
you have no involvement. Actually, 4, his brothers, spouses, and this past year, Harpreet also.
Yeah.
So that was at 5?
He's a new one, but he's my brother's son.
Right. So his nephew was recently granted a license this past, I think, November, or December, and that is
What was
a
that?
nephew, yes.
What store was that?
It's 24 Bailey Avenue LLC. I know that's the address. I can't recall if that's the name of the entity also. I think it may be.
So on the
The owner,
same
the
street.
member is Harpreet Singh, who is the nephew of the applicant principal.
So he owns the real estate at all of these stores, or how many of them?
What's it? No, I don't have no store.
Nothing whatsoever.
So he's not
No,
the
I know for
owner
a fact-
of 1245 Bailey Avenue?
No.
No.
I know for a fact, because I am the attorney for those entities, he has no membership interest, ownership interest in any of those.
Not even the real estate?
Not even in the real estate, that's correct. The real estate, there may have been ownerships in the past, but that's all been transferred going back years ago. The only real estate is the 2788 Bailey, which is the subject premises.
And he's buying the store from his sister-in-law?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Why is that?
I'm sorry?
Why? Why?
Well, because I want to make like my own business. I work all the time for other people, so I want my own business now.
And where is she going?
She want to retire, so she health she feeling healthily. She's have a pain in the back pain, so she don't can handle the business. So she want try to sell business. So I like to buy because I like my own business.
And I will add that based upon this meeting with the accountant, and as you can see, the documents have been submitted, it is an arm's length transaction, paying fair value for the business, including inventory.
Yes, I do see that.
Are you ready to go ahead and vote?
Can I have just a moment to confer with counsel, please?
Yeah.
So we attorney, that's what it's,
It's okay. Nothing wrong.
We ready? All right, we're back on the calendar.
Yeah, I'm ready to vote if you are.
Commissioner Fan?
Yes, so you know very well that the family has a history of aiding and abetting, interlocking purchases. The criminal history, given that you've provided a certificate of relief of disability, I think it's water under the bridge. It's something from years ago, and so I'm not really that concerned about it. But if you were to get the store, just be reminded that there's no availing, there's no co-op buying. All of these stores have to be operating independently. And if there's evidence of any of that, they all go away. So, and with that, I vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
Yeah, for the same reasons, I'm not going to hold a past criminal history against you. But I will reinforce the warning that Commissioner Fan has given, which is, intermingling, interlocking businesses in your family. That will not be viewed upon leniently. So, but I will vote to approve as well. Good luck.
thank you, Commissioner. Thank you.
The next item, also in Buffalo, 44, Trinity Star, Inc.
What is that?
44.
Good morning. Kaisha Ivy, Trinity Star Inc.
Yeah, I need to name louder.
Oh. Good morning. I'm Kaisha Ivy, sole proprietor of Trinity Star Inc.
What restaurant do you own right now, Ms. Ivy?
Candace's.
I'm sorry?
Candace's.
Okay.
It's called Candace's at 701 Lake Avenue.
And that restaurant is not licensed?
It is licensed, yes.
License.
It is licensed.
Yes.
Top of the next
Currently
page.
3 years.
Okay. Who is James Sakari?
James Sakari. James Sakari is the, he's going into business with me. We're purchasing the building at 1034 Hudson Avenue.
So he's providing the money to buy the building,
Not the full money, half.
half of the building.
Yes.
The
Well, half
building
of
is
the fund.
$100,000?
Correct, and I'm paying
And-
50.
And the restaurant is built out already?
I'm sorry?
The restaurant is built out already?
Yes, the restaurant is already there.
And the building has something else there or just a restaurant?
There's 2 apartments upstairs.
And you're taking rental income on those?
Yes.
And James Sakari will have the interest in just the property or also in the restaurant?
Just the restaurant.
Just the restaurant?
Yes.
You mean just the real estate or just the restaurant?
Just the real estate purchase of,
So it's just the real estate?
Correct.
Okay. He does not own the restaurant with you?
No, I own the restaurant myself.
Okay. How do you know him?
I met him through the broker because I was looking to finance the building, and then it came to me like, okay, we can do it with you have half and the broker can work it this way. So he's willing to partner with you to purchase it, and I'll just be paying him back his 50.
So he's basically making you a loan, and when he gets paid back the 50, he's out of the picture?
Correct.
Okay.
Did you know Al Jackson?
Who?
Al Jackson.
No.
We disapproved an application here by him back in 317. I was wondering.
Have you lived in this town for a few years?
I've lived in Rochester all my life.
All your life?
Yes.
So you know this location? You know of the restaurant that was at this location?
I've known it prior to who currently owns it, when it was the original owner of Hancock's. He had it for 45 years. I've known that property at that point. The new tenants, I've never frequent when it was there.
I see. So you don't know the people you're buying the building, well, you don't know the
No,
people who own the building or run the restaurant?
Correct, not personally, no. Yeah, I was introduced to the building from the actual mortgage holder of the building, the mortgage holder of the people who own the building still, like the estate of the Hancock family. I guess he holds the mortgage for the current guy. I was introduced to him, and he's looking to sell it because the current mortgage holder wants to get rid of it.
Yeah. Got it. So what are your hours?
The hours of operation I'm looking for right now would be Monday through Thursday, like 11 a.m. to be able to serve lunch, and early dinner out by 10, preferably no later than 11. Saturday and Sundays, depending on the crowd. If it's a nice crowd going on, I know Fish Fry Fridays are a big thing. Weekend Saturdays may come out and have steak dinners, so I'm assuming maybe midnight, if pushing 12. So I would like the license to be extended to 2 if possible, but if I will have security on staff, because I currently have a licensed security over at Candace's as well. So I will keep the community safe as well.
What are the hours at Candace's?
Candace right now is 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Monday through Sunday.
We don't have any adverse history on Candace.
Not at all.
No, it would have been listed here. No.
I think Rochester closing time, Monroe County, is 2 a.m., isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I'm
I'm
good.
ready.
And so she must have security if you're.
Tom, you have anything to add?
I was just checking, the memo from licensing indicates you're not going to have security.
I did submit his license, the copy of my armed security guard. It was faxed over Friday.
So that's, what he's indicating is that you're making a change. When you initially filed the application, when the question is presented, you said no, there was not going to be security. So now you're adding security?
I will have security on Friday and Saturday nights, yes.
One security guard?
Right now I'm gonna start off with one because I don't anticipate it because it's pretty much 75% food. I'm anticipating it won't be needing more than one.
Okay. Is that okay? Yeah.
You ready to vote?
Yes, I'm ready to vote.
Okay, Commissioner Fan.
I'm going to vote to approve with 2 a.m. close across the board, recorded music and live acoustic and jazz music only, no DJ, no promoters, and up to 2 security guards on Friday, Saturday.
Okay, I can do that.
Commissioner Ford.
You're not asking for dancing, are you?
No dancing.
All right.
I don't allow dancing in Candace.
Okay. All right. I'll vote to approve on the same conditions as mentioned by Commissioner Fan.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Next item is 15, Hussein Al-Jamal.
Good morning. My name is Thiazan Asayari. I'm here representing Hussein Al-Jamal. I have no appearance on file. what happened is we applied back in March, and then we get disapproved back in May. And the reason was because the prior owner has some problem, to resolve with the authority. And then after that in May, we hear from the prior owner that he resolved that problem. Then we ask for reconsideration. And our reconsideration was granted. And they asked us to resubmit the fee again, and then somebody will review the file. And after that, we heard from this board of meeting, after we think that the process will go to approve the file. I mean, we're not aware now what is the matter and why being asked to appear here in the board of the meeting.
Maybe to clarify that,
Sure.
the application came in, there were charges pending on where, at the location, so we disapproved it pursuant to the divisional order. On conclusion of the disciplinary charges, which was not voted on by the members until the end of June, once the disciplinary was concluded, we reactivated the application. This was not a reconsideration. I think you mentioned fees. Well, because due to that process, I'm sure the refund was already issued, granted. This is here for a couple reasons. The first reason is because the prior license at this location has been canceled, in view of the charges that the cancellation was based on. Also, the applicant principal, our records indicate that he was the manager and landlord for that licensee, so there was a connection there. This is why this is why this application is here for you.
Yeah, and it said self-employed on the application, and it's the same address as the store.
Yeah, I mean, he just his self-employment that we mentioned in the file in the application, because he was like owning the building, and he just like doing contributor in other business, but his connection with that location while he was operating, it just that he is renting that place. That's all. He has any connection with the business while he was running with the prior owner. He had just owner of the building. He get rent from that prior owner, and he has another business. He don't like distributing sales and somewhere else, but he owned the building and he live upstairs.
But
he has no connection with the business.
It says he was cashier. Position cashier. From 2000.
That's after he take over. After the old owner failed to continue the business and failed to pay the rent, he take over and he start his own business in that location. And then in that time he started like working in that place under his name. But under the
When did he
prior
take
name,
over? Excuse me, when did he take over?
Back in I think
December 28.
2017 or
17.
At the beginning of 2018, I think, or the end of 2017.
He was running the business at that time?
He started to, he has problem with the prior owner.
Right, we understand that. Was he selling any alcoholic beverages? Was he selling beer?
Yeah, there are charges in May of 18.
So he was...
No, since he stopped business, he stopped until he get the, he stopped doing that until the old owner
But the old owner was there in March of 2018.
Yeah, that's the time when he applied. That's the time when we apply, when he get over. But I'm talking about when did the prior owner, left, or I don't know,
You realize the issue is that the applicant basically was availing his own tenant after the tenant left the country.
Sorry?
Your client was availing his own tenant when the tenant left the country. He was selling alcohol using the tenant's liquor license.
بيقول لك انه انت استخدمت حق الليسن يعني بعد ما سافر.
هو
أنا
لأنه قال بيصير يدي فلوس وبيرجع يسلم لي
هذا
الحالة.
ما يصلح.
ما يصلح؟ ما استخدمته استخدمته.
He's saying that no, since he left, I mean, when he started his own application, then he stopped selling any clothes, any beverages. But before that, the old owner, he was running the business.
Does he have a temporary?
The one was applied for, we deferred action.
So he shouldn't be selling alcohol this whole time?
Correct.
Right.
Are you ready to vote?
Yes.
I'm going to vote to deny.
Commissioner Ford?
Yeah, I'm going to vote to deny as well. This is kind of cloudy, and I'm not comfortable granting the license. So I vote to deny.
Michelle, I don't have any other items in Buffalo. Do you have anything else there?
No, there's no other items in Buffalo.
Thank you. We're going to move to Albany then. First item is 42, EZR Deli and Convenience, Inc.
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Mark Grossiong. I'm here with Fauzia Akhtar, applicant for a liquor store license, 194 Route 209, Unit 1. Ms. Fauzia is presently licensed for an adjoining location for a grocery store license under serial number 2205303. That's been active for 2 years, no adverse history.
Do we have any opposition there?
No, ma'am.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, it was previously closed anyway. There's no protest. Closest store is, 3 miles away?
Yep.
With increasing sales, so we'll save you a lot of time and trouble. We vote to approve.
Yes. I see public convenience in adding a package store to the grocery store. I vote to approve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Next item in Albany, 16, Vino Llc.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Ross Calarco of Vino Llc.
Okay, this is the third time you've come with the same application.
Second,
Can I take one moment, please?
Sure.
Commissioner Fan, there was one application for a wholesale license. That's why you're seeing 2 prior applications.
Okay. So what's different?
Are you asking me what's different?
Yes.
Oh, okay. The original application that I put out, you guys received it November 13th, 2017. When I put it in, I didn't put in for any employees. It was out of ignorance. I didn't realize. I realized it was a bad thing. I actually had sent in a reconsideration request, and they just told me to reapply, and here I am.
Is this the old Slide Inn?
Yes, it was the old Slide Inn, yes.
And what's the significance of that?
It's just a place I remember from the 80s, that's all. It's gone through several.
You're dating yourself.
Yeah, I know. It's gone through, it's had several owners over the years, so that's why.
Members,
That's what I thought it was.
just to let you know that he did submit a statement regarding his alcohol, his experience in the alcohol industry. It was not attached.
Oh, can I see that, please?
I can blow it up for you here, but I have no access to print it.
Okay. Can you read it?
Paragraphs. I'll try to read fast. Or
Is
would
it,
he like to summarize? What is, can you summarize what your experience is that you gave us?
Oh, my experience in the alcohol industry, I worked for Ambrosia nightclub from 2006 to 2008 as a bartender. I was the first assistant manager at Bennigan's Bar and Grill for about a year and a half before they closed up. And I actually didn't even put it in the statement, but I actually had bartended more recently than even Ambrosia from 2006 to 2008 at Harpoon Eddie's on the weekends at Sylvan Beach. I don't know if you're familiar with Sylvan Beach.
Yep. Know that one too. What are your hours? What are you proposing for this place?
Well, the city approved hours of 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. That's the hours of operation approved for the special permit pursuant to that property. I'm probably going to stay open probably 7 o'clock at night till 2 a.m. I'm looking more for like a music venue, bands, stuff like that. Bands, singers, that stuff.
Do you have any experience in booking bands and?
A little bit. I'm not going to say. I was actually going to get an outside events promoter to try to get. There's a couple guys that actually bring in for the Lost Horizon. They bring in bands. You try to get national acts. You get a better clientele like that by bringing them in. They have a little more wide, more like you can get in better acts than I can as a local. If you get the local bands cause you get more of a drinking crowd. I don't want that. I want to get more like a show venue. That's what I'm looking for at the place.
What type of security are you proposing?
Oh, actually, for security, I actually met with a couple different companies. There's my first choice is going to be Imperial Guards, Wyatt Lozano. He does it in Syracuse. Got a good reputation. He stresses safety. He's good at de-escalating like situations so they don't turn into, confrontation. He impressed me. He does a lot of the bars in Syracuse. Him and his guys. He's registered. He's insured. And I actually met with another place called RMW. They handle a couple things downtown, but I liked Imperial Guards better. I think they were more respectable, more professional.
I have your maximum occupancy, 318. Is that what you plan to go with? That many people?
No, I'm not going to have it. It's going to be very hard to pack that. It's sprinkled. That's the occupancy the fire department gave me. It's not what I was, shooting for.
You plan to use the mezzanine as well?
The mezzanine is actually going to be for the liquor storage. There's a staircase that goes up in from the kitchen that's only accessible from the back of the bar up in there, and it's going to be like for liquor storage.
Yeah, so that alone is going to reduce your capacity. So, all right. I don't have any more questions if you're done.
What's the building like, Commissioner Ford?
Granted, it's been a while since I've been there. But I just remember it as being kind of a large kind of open space with a mezzanine.
Yeah.
So. So
your proposal has 3 tables with 3 chairs, and your menu is basically microwave food that
Yeah, it's bar tavern.
barely passes for sufficient food. 318 people. And you have pretty much no security plan.
Well, I have a real security. I have a real security plan with Imperial Guards. We're gonna have enough security in there for our events. That's the one thing. I'm not monkeying around about that.
Could we cap occupancy at 200?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
And you're using outside promoters, obviously.
Yes.
The menu is sufficient for a bar tavern.
Okay. And he did supply experience, which was an
Yes.
issue before. Okay.
are we ready to vote?
Oh, I am, yeah.
Commissioner Fan, you ready to vote?
I am just not yet comfortable with this application. I hate to say it. If you come back with maybe support from the police department and a better security plan, I could potentially go for it, but for now, I'm going to deny.
I would vote to approve it, but it's a split decision, so that's denied.
Is there anything I can do to try to straighten this out today? I mean, what happens now?
You're going to get a decision that says it was denied because it was a tie vote. You can then ask for reconsideration.
Or we could hold it over to when we have a third vote here.
If you're inclined to do that, that's up to both of you to decide to rescind.
If he comes back with a PD plan, I think I'll be happy with it.
Why don't we hold it over to the next hearing, and that gives you a chance to get together with Syracuse PD and come back with some type of letter or determination from them.
From my experience with the city of Syracuse, they don't like to get involved. From when I actually went to them. I get 50 signed petitions of support. I'm not arguing with you guys. I understand. They're not going to go along with it. They don't want it. It's political for them to get involved.
Okay, you have a choice.
Want to hold it over?
You can either have the matter held over, or you already know it's going to get denied if you don't want it held over.
I'll have it held over if I can have a chance. If she wants me to get a detailed security plan, I could do that. I can definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to run a music venue, and you don't really have experience doing that, and you're going to rely on outside promoters. I just need a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's not she, it's we.
Oh,
Okay.
I understand. I'm sorry. I was just.
Okay.
It's very fuzzy.
All right, so come back on the 23rd. I'm sorry, Commissioner Fan, are you okay with that?
Sure, yeah.
Commissioner Ford?
Yes.
Come back on the 23rd with the security plan submitted before then, and if you talk to the police, get some to us as well.
The 23rd of this month?
Yes. Do you need more time?
No, that's fine. I can do that,
Okay.
definitely.
January
Thank you for
23rd.
meeting me today. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Could we take a really quick recess? Apparently there's some issue with the video.
Sure.
Are we all set now? Okay, we are back on the record. Next item in Albany is 27, Beekman 55 Food Mart Corp.
Good morning, Commissioners, and to the Board.
Good
Attorney
morning.
Mayor.
Morning.
Good morning. Attorney Mayor Fakori for Mr. Singh, Beekman 55 Food Mart Corp. We're here this morning to answer any questions and concerns regarding this application.
How many of these does he have?
Just one. This is his first business.
So he plans on having 2 employees and himself to manage it? Is that the idea?
Yes, Commissioner.
Okay. No, the previous license here was canceled back in September.
Yeah, we're well aware of that, Commissioner. We actually, it was canceled. That tenant was evicted. Musamar tried to take over that location, at which point they withdrew the application and then sold the business to Mr. Singh. That applicant has absolutely nothing to do with this applicant.
Understood.
That was actually Route 55 Snack Shop. That was the applicant that was,
Yep.
that was in trouble.
I vote to approve.
Same here. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Same to you.
Happy New Year.
The next item I have in Albany is number 1, 230 Route 43 LLC.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kenneth Schwartz from the firm of Schicketti and Abbott PLLC on behalf of 230 Route 43 LLC, DBA Dave's Liquor Store. I'm here with the sole member of that LLC, Mr. Colehammer.
I see you have a letter of support from the, as soon as I can find it. Oh, that might have come in late.
We have significant community support.
Town
including a letter
superintendent,
from the
yes.
Town of Steventown.
Yeah. Yep.
You currently run Dave's Market?
Yes, which is right next door, and it just recently received its license for beer sale. Attached facilities.
And he's going to continue as a real estate broker?
Yes, that's correct. This is my last year. My wife is helping me with everything. And I'm up there every weekend, sometimes weekly.
So your wife is managing both stores, the Dave's Market and this liquor store?
No, I'm still managing it, and she's helping me.
Who's Dave?
Dave is the past owner.
We're using historical name, which has a community reference.
Got it. Closest store is 6.4 miles away. Generally increases in 2 of the 5 closest stores. One is doing very, very little business. I'm not sure what's up with that. Commissioner?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, this is in the middle of no place.
Steventown is a pretty rural area of Rensselaer County. For that reason alone, I think public convenience and advantage would be served by having a store there. So I vote to approve.
I will vote to approve as well.
That's an easy one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Next item in Albany is 43, Mnmb Unlimited Llc.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Please state your name, sir. Yes, Michael Stura with Mnmb Unlimited LLC.
And Michael Baxter.
You guys are friends?
Yes.
And you both plan to continue your current employment?
That's correct.
That's correct.
And this store would basically replace one that the nearest store, which is about half a mile away, which has been closed, sole proprietor deceased, and the family is not going to continue the business.
Correct, since March of 2018.
Yeah, so beyond that, the clearest nearest store is like 9 miles, 11 miles, 13, 14 miles.
That's correct. Yep.
Who's running the store?
Well, we are co-managing it, and then we're gonna have employees that'll be in the store as well as ourselves.
Yeah, including a full-time employee with 30 years' experience in a family liquor store of their own on a neighboring county that they just recently sold.
Okay. Why the liquor store?
Because, well, first of all, our community needs one. It's been, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it a hardship, but it's very inconvenient to have to drive 10 miles to get a bottle of wine. And no one else wanted to step up in the community, and so we looked at an opportunity and decided to take it. Yep.
This must be rural day.
Yeah, I know, right? We're a big country, but we are.
Points of budget community.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Whitney Point. Again, just like the last one, I think that public convenience and advantage would be served by having a license here, especially since a store is just closed nearby. So I vote to approve.
I vote to approve as well. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, item, any other items cited in Albany?
No, sir.
All right, so we're going to move on to New York.
Thank you, ma'am.
And the first item there is 52, Tequila and Mezcal NY Corp.
Good morning, Stacy Weiss for the licensee. This is, I'm requesting a vacate of the judgment, the default judgment. This is the manager for the location. What happened was, we didn't know anything about this. Evidently, it was never received by the licensee. They received all of the other ones, and as a matter of fact, we happened to look through the website and noticed it, called the client up, asked about it, and they didn't know anything about it. And we said, you got to show up. And when we called up
Yes, Stacy,
Albany.
it's fine.
Okay.
Send it back to me.
Okay,
It's fine. Back to counsel's office.
thank you very much. All right.
Back to council.
All right.
The next item is 31, YMJ Express LLC.
The other gentleman went downstairs to get his, to put money in the meter. He'll be
Do you
right
want to
back.
wait? Why don't you wait?
Okay, all right. You can call somebody else in the.
Okay.
Yep.
Next item is 35, Vernon Wine and Liquor, Inc.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Henry Warakomsky. This is a removal application for a liquor store in Queens. The previous location where he had his liquor store, the landlord knocked down all the buildings, and he's building a high-rise there. And this new location is within 1,200 feet of his previous location in the area.
Sir, can you explain how public convenience and advantage is served by this particular location and how you found this particular location, especially considering the outpouring of community discussion about this particular location? We have significant numbers of people who've said that they don't want this license granted. So I'm curious how you would, describe public convenience and advantage on this one.
He had his other liquor store was in the area, and the landlord, knocked the building down, so he didn't want to lose his liquor store, so he's moving it within, 1,200 feet of the previous store. It's not going to hurt the area.
I mean, given that you're going to be right next to Reality House, it's it's hard to justify. I mean, the removal obviously has to happen, but I think you are better off finding yet another location.
It took him a couple of years to find this location. It was hard to find another location. How long are you looking for location?
About a year.
Your store is still operating?
No.
His license is safekeeping.
Yeah, I don't think this is the right location either.
You know, I mean, it's very rare that we get assemblywoman letter, city council, and the facility itself, you know, drug rehab facility, that's sort of their
Drug and alcohol, isn't it?
worst fear.
Mr. Worokomsky, certainly feel free to build a record for public convenience and advantage for this removal, but I think you can see what we're looking at based on what we have in front of us.
But we were in the same neighbor, same community.
But I think being really right next door to them, it's gonna be hard to swallow. Imagine you're in treatment and right next door to the place you go for treatment has a liquor store. It's
This doesn't seem to match up to me either. So, I'd advise you.
All because of the previous landlord is died, and then the wife came to us say, oh, she want to sell the property so she can move back to Florida with her 15-year-old daughter. She's inquiring about want us to out. We still have like 3 years lease, but she guaranteed that the new landlord will sign the lease for us another 10 years. But I can't wait for 3 years for them to build a new high-rise, because the safekeeping is only allowed, I think, a maximum is a year.
It's your second removal, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know. Substance abuse in veterans is a really, really big social issue. It's nothing that we can take lightly, so I'm going to vote to deny this removal.
Yeah. I empathize with your predicament, but I'm going to have to vote no on this location as well.
He has to find other locations.
Find a better
Yeah,
location.
find another location that's not right next to a drug and alcohol treatment for veterans.
But I have another question. Do I still have a time to find another location? Because the safekeeping, I don't know if...
He's been on safekeeping since 2017, and his license,
How long can we?
you have until November. Your license expires November 27th.
It's going to November.
So November this year? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to find another location and talk to Jackie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item is 49, Cafe Latino of Central Islip Corp. You want to, again, come on up. We're going to recall, is everybody here?
31.
31. YMJ Express LLC.
Okay.
Hi, good morning. Stacy Weiss for the applicant. George, Mr. Maximos had applied for a grocery beer license back on February 9th, 2016. His company was 276-43 Gourmet Grocery, Inc. His partner was a Majid Moros. Back then, the application was denied based on the fact that the applicants had been operating the business using the license of the former owner. The same principals had reapplied on August 19th, 2016 for a grocery beer license at the same location. At that time, I had represented them, and again, the application was disapproved on the same grounds. At that time also, I had told Mr. Moros that he would be disapproved, but he insisted that I apply for the license. It's been over 3 years now, And since the first disapproval, and this is Mr. Maximos, and he has a new business partner, he has a new location, he has a new LLC, and he would like to apply for a beer license at this new location. And that's what we're here for. And the new location is 197 Madison Street in Manhattan.
So what's the explanation for the veiling from before?
Well, Mr. Maximos here is legally blind, and his former partner, he's the one who did all the paperwork, and Mr. Maximos was unaware that the license was not their license. And unfortunately, he did all the paperwork, the other guy. And this gentleman here, Mr. Abbas, he's the new partner, and he's going to, he's going to make sure that the license is being done proper, and I'm going to ensure that everything is being done properly also. I'm going to, assist, make sure everything is being signed properly, and ensure that the license is, that paperwork is being done properly.
So who's in charge of the paperwork?
Well, he's going to be day-to-day, and I'm going to make sure that anything that has to be signed, I'm going to double-check it.
So Mr. George is still...
Mr. Maximos, George Maximos is here.
Yes, that's me.
That's him.
And are you going to be involved in this, or... Because your explanation of that you were not the person availing is because you were a 50% partner, but somehow you didn't know anything.
Actually, on the private company, my partner Max Morris, Magid Morris, he's the one. He's been in charge for all the paperwork and doing all the signing and all that. And as she said, I'm legal blind. I'm barely can read very close and stuff. So I wasn't aware about we were been using the license for the previous owner, and actually we have no problem on that time to apply for a new license. Under our name is clean, everything is nice. I don't know why he did that, and he didn't tell me anything about that.
Yeah, he was under the impression that the license was applied for and that it was a good license, and he didn't know that they were
If you
using
can
the other.
see my record, there is no reason to not apply for a liquor license. I have no bad record. I have everything's fine for applying for a license.
Right, but I want to make sure that the fact that your eyesight is challenged is not going to stop you from being able to run this liquor license properly.
I'm not the one who run the business. My partner, Abbas, he's the one who run it. I'm just investing with him. He's the one starting from the morning until the closing time.
Okay, but it says here that you're managing day-to-day operations of the business.
No,
5 hours per day, Monday to Friday, and you continue also as the manager of Lucky Star Cafe and Deli.
No, he's not going to be there. He's going to go in there, but he's not going to be actually like managing.
Like in the back on the behind of the counter.
He's not going to be behind the no.
So this 5 hours per day, Monday through Friday, is not accurate.
Not by himself. Not by himself. He's not going to be. He's in the store.
Just to check the store, see what's going on, but he's not involved in the business. I'm running the whole operation.
He's going to be there like just to go in there and just like a secondary person. He's not going to be there alone. He's going to go in there just to be in there to check on things with his partner. He's not going to be in there by himself.
You both have split the investment
Yes,
cost? Is that what's
yes,
going on?
Yes. So he's going in there.
I mean, you're asking us to license a person who was fooled before by a different partner.
Well, that's why he goes. He's going to be.
So I have to really trust him now.
Well, no, and I'm going to be part of the.
Well, you're not going to run every
No,
day to
of course not.
day.
No, of course not. Of course not. But he may be legally blind, but that's why he's going to be there also. He's not going to be, see, before he was not there. That's why he's going to be there part of the time. You understand? Before he was out, he was just an investor. Now he's actually going to be physically going there, and so he could I mean, he's legally blind, yes, but he does have some sight. He can see something.
Right, I think, Ms. Weiss, I think what Commissioner Fan is just being absolutely sure about is, regardless of past history, that you're going to be somebody who is, actively involved, at least in counseling them, because of how serious an availing charge on the
Exactly.
record obviously is, to make sure that that doesn't happen in the future.
You're exactly right.
So what experience do you have?
I have experience in the food business. Like, I was running a food business over 17 years, and I had a couple of stores before, fried chicken and a bagel store.
Okay.
There's 17 years retail experience.
But it says here that you will work there 7 hours per day, Monday to Saturday, but also continue your present occupation.
I'm sorry?
What was it?
It says that he will work there 7 hours a day, but also continue as a limousine driver. Is that right?
I had a limousine business before. I had
So you're not continuing? And this is going to be your gig?
Yes,
The store is open right now, right?
yes,
And that's where you're there every day now?
yes,
And you want to be able to sell beer there?
yes.
Commissioner?
Yeah, I mean, is a limousine business still in business?
business anymore. It was like 4 cars. I sold up the cars.
Okay.
And I'm not involved anymore.
All right.
That was at the time when the application was filled out.
Even if when I had the limousine business, I wasn't driving. Like, I had a driver driving.
Right.
You have to remember, this application was done several months ago.
Because I was going to say, I mean,
Changed.
you still could have a limousine business and,
Even when I had the business, I didn't.
Yeah,
all right.
Now you don't have it, right?
yeah, this was several months ago. This has been a while ago.
All right. All right. All right.
It was a while, it was a while.
Would they need to, would he need to amend the license at all?
No, I'm not gonna have them go, but it's noted.
All right.
This is where
Good question.
the data changes, so.
All right.
It was a little while ago.
Do you have a scanner? You plan to have a scanner?
A scanner, an ID scanner to check the age. They can get that, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, they get a scanner.
Yeah. I don't think that would be a bad idea.
It's not a
Have a
problem,
scanner.
they can get a scanner.
Okay.
Not a problem at all. I'll tell them what to get.
Okay, great.
Are you ready to vote then?
Yeah.
Yes, I vote to approve.
All on you, Ms. Weiss. I vote to approve.
Thank you so much, I really do appreciate
you.
it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Next item is 49, Cafe Latino of Central Islip Corp.
Come with a lot of baggage.
Hope you're not showing us that.
No, just from.
It's now a grocery store?
It always was. It's a grocery store. It's an operating grocery store right now. It's owned by Mr. Martinez right now. He's had it and operated it for many years. He had one violation back in 2009 for sale to minors. Under the advice of his accountant, his accountant told him to form a new corporation and to refile because he didn't like the way the books were being kept. We filed it. It was disapproved for him not having enough groceries. He restocked it with a massive amount of groceries, and we were directed to come before the board.
I'm okay with that, Commissioner.
One of the things just want to mention that happened in the licensing application process is the diagrams submitted don't reflect, all you see is a few shelves, you have no information, and you reflect it with the photos, and it shows limited. I mean, if it's supposed to have been a grocery store all along.
It's been for many years.
That's not what your email said, though.
My what?
Your email said it wasn't a grocery store.
It always was a grocery store.
I'm reading your email, and it said it doesn't have to be a grocery store until the license is issued.
Legally, that happens here too, where we file an application and we're disapproved
No,
before.
but your choice of words could have been a little better.
Okay, but what I was referring to is that sometimes we get disapproved for a place that doesn't need to put the groceries in yet. When we are approved and they say, bring us pictures of your groceries full and stocked and ready to operate, we do that to come pick up. But in his case, he's been a grocery, mostly a huge hot table, and he's got a lot of vegetables and stuff, but not.
This is what's submitted for an application to receive a license.
Hmm?
And be very comfortable waiting for the approval, and then, hey, we'll provide you with what we need to make sure that the license is legally, that we can issue it to you. It's a grocery store. Just show us the inventory, or at least show us a diagram that shows where all the inventory
What's
is
where?
gonna be. The
Okay.
diagram on this one doesn't show us anything. There's a couple
No,
of shelves along the
they're just shelves. I
But
saw
don't think
shelves,
it's
refrigerator, yeah, that's
licenses
true.
and hope that they're going to turn around and give us photos later.
All right.
That, oh yeah, we will stock it.
Will be stocked upon, when,
Give us information about
Okay.
that, or at least show the diagram that it reflects what it's
All
supposed,
right.
the application's supposed to be.
I'll do that.
Okay?
Commissioner Fan?
I vote to approve.
Oh, approve or send it back to licensing?
Send it back to licensing.
Yeah, I'll grant recon and back to licensing as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Next item is 29, Elite Group, Islip, Inc. Somebody signing for that one? Mr. DeLuca?
They'll be coming right up here. Ms. Held, this is the one that we just spoke about.
Well, this is an application, so it's really in front of the members. Talk to the members about this.
But this is one, same diagram was sent in for different applications, is that what it was?
Premise is unchanged. Now it's changed, as of a request from the Liquor Authority investigator asked us to include a room that was not included prior because it was a dead room behind the decommissioned garage doors. And we got a letter from the landlord that included it in their area, so we modified the diagrams and resubmitted the application. Well, I'm sorry, sir. The application that I'm here for is a different application. It's another one owned by them.
You're talking about an application for a different location.
The one for Islip is here because the one in Holbrook got disapproved. The one in Holbrook got disapproved for the diagrams, not for a disciplinary issue, but for the diagrams. And so they're related. I can't really talk about one without the other.
Holbrook was disapproved because of diagrams.
Right.
Because the same diagram was
Used for both.
in multiple applications,
Yeah.
but when you compare that to what you see, we use Google and know that, is that the diagram is not reflective of the building. So we see doors that are not reflected in the diagram, and Mr. Luke and I just had a conversation that we want to see the whole footprint of the building and where that store is in location to that. So show us the areas that are not to be licensed.
And it was done.
So this is where
We amended,
you amended, okay.
and we submitted again, and we were disapproved again.
You were. This application that's before the members, I put a note in there because the same situation happened on this address in Islip Avenue. That this is the same exact, the diagram that was submitted with this one is the exact same one that was submitted with your past 3 applications at this location. It just goes to reflect, what due diligence are you showing as?
I go there, you'll see on the pictures that the date is on the picture. Unless they've rearranged it, I don't change the diagrams. If they move stuff, when I went to them the first time, they had said they were going to move their coffee from the island to in front of the window. As it turned out, they didn't do that because they found out they had to do plumbing to do that.
It looks like all you're doing is just putting in a new sticker with a new applicant, right?
Only if
So
it-
we
Yeah.
have to rely on the information submitted, and seeing just photocopies of old applications, we're not sure what we're seeing anymore.
I only change it if it changes. And in this case,
So in this case, I'm asking you to change it, regardless of if. it
just
has-
draw a new one, even if it's the
Give us a
same.
new one.
I could do
actually
that.
would like your diagrams better.
But I do go to every one. It's annoying as hell. The date's on every picture. This one I went to
Okay,
4
all right,
times.
Mr. DeLuca?
Yep.
Do members have any questions?
So we could vote to send this back to licensing with the
It's
proper,
actually here for you.
okay.
It's all ready to go.
How are you guys related to each other?
We have friends.
And how many, this is your first one?
They've been
Do
in.
you guys live close to this
That's
location?
correct now, we think.
That's what he's saying. Yep.
You're saying this is the correct diagram.
25 minutes?
Can I
You can
step
come up, yeah.
You're showing me
what's in the book here.
This one is, this is Islip. Yes, this is Islip.
What's your,
This is in Holbrook, the store room.
what's your background in trafficking alcohol?
We have no experience.
Sorry, say that again? You have no experience?
They've been in that store since, that one since February, the one in Holbrook, and the one in Islip has been pending, and they've been in there operating on a temporary for the last 3 months, and the renewal was delayed until the outcome of this.
I understand. So how are you guys dividing the responsibilities as of right now? You have 2 locations.
We have managers over there.
You have 2 managers at,
We have managers who are managing the business.
okay.
They go oversee the operations time to time, but they have full-time managers over there.
Okay.
Okay.
Who's your manager?
Right here, full-time.
Yes, please. So what's your experience in trafficking alcohol?
Speak to the mic, please.
Could you just put your name on the record, please, and speak into the mic?
Sure. I used to have 2 gas stations.
Could you put
and-
your name on the record, please? and
Sure.
then-
What is your name?
My name Burhan, Burhan. Last name is Yardımcı, Yardimci.
Okay.
Since 2004, I've been doing this. I had 2 gas stations. I used to run gas 7-Elevens and coffee shops.
Were the gas stations in the state of New York?
Yes, it is. It used to be in Port Jefferson in the same location that 4815 West Highway.
And you're the manager for just this location or also the one in Holbrook?
Both locations.
You're the same manager for both locations?
Yes.
How far are they from each other?
I can say 10 minutes driving.
Okay. Commissioner?
Now, as long as we're good on this diagram issue, this is like the diagram that won't die, you
Well,
know?
it's a Bolero, and they just keep, they cookie cutter it. They don't want them to change it or move it. I go to make sure nothing's been
I think
changed.
we've covered that.
Yeah,
Are you ready to
that's it.
vote?
Yes.
Yes, I vote to approve.
I'll vote to approve as well.
Thank you. Ms. Held, how will that affect the Holbrook one? Okay.
Next item is 45, El Cabero Bar and Restaurant, Inc.
This is the applicant. The applicant had a prior location in Central Islip where the license was canceled. He purchased the location on Suffolk Avenue
It's
and.
canceled after a year.
It was canceled.
Yeah.
He got, after he purchased it, they came in, he got violations. He hadn't changed the way it was operated. He was able to cure almost all the violations except the ones that went to the landlord. And the landlord wasn't cooperating, and he closed that premise. And then he filed for this one in Islip Terrace in August.
You closed that one first and then came to this location?
He closed the one in Suffolk Avenue, the Central Islip location, because after it was canceled, Mr. Ferring had said he could refile if he could get the one last issue straightened out, but the landlord wasn't straightening it out, so he left the place.
Right, but you defaulted at the authority, which is never good.
The cancellation was a result of a defaulted hearing.
He couldn't get the papers that were for the hearing, as far as I know.
Yeah,
That's
but
it.
going on a default is,
That's a
it's
default
bad.
from less than a year ago.
Right.
And a cancellation from less than a year ago.
I'm not ready to issue yet another license.
Yeah.
So I vote to deny.
Yeah, this is just cancel. I vote to deny as well.
The next item is 38, Barbie's Restaurant and Lounge, Inc.
The prior licensee at this location was canceled. My client has no connection to them whatsoever.
You own Woodfire Grill in Hampstead?
Yes, ma'am.
And that is not licensed?
No.
What are the hours there?
Hours there is from Monday to Thursday, it's 11 to 9, and Friday and Saturday, it's 11 to 10.
How are you going to run both businesses?
I have a manager at Woodfire.
Okay. And you plan to not use a manager at this location?
But I'll be there at all times.
What kind of place is Woodfire Grill? Just a
It's a Jamaican restaurant.
Jamaican restaurant? Okay. Do you ever have intention to have a liquor license there?
No.
Okay.
What are the hours you want for this location?
The hours is from 4 to 2 a.m. 4 p.m. to 2 a.m.
4 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's going to be called Bar Biz?
Barbie's.
Barbie's, yes.
My last name is Barbie.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Ken, how
Right, so it's going to be called Bar Biz, but it's D-A-B is Bar Biz. Is that wrong?
No, it's
It is?
a play
It's
on.
Bar Biz. Okay, I got it.
How long have you owned the other place, been running the other place again?
Over a year.
Okay. You understand our questions here. The previous license at this location was suspended,
It was bad. Mhm.
so, that makes us kind of concerned about, opening it up again. Especially if there's any indication to us that it's going to be run as the other place was that we closed.
Absolutely not. I don't even know the previous owner. I was not involved with them
Okay?
at all.
Do you have, what's your plans for music?
Music, we're using pre-recorded music.
Okay. No dancing, nothing like that?
No, there's no dancing.
Any plans for security guards?
Yes, we'll have security.
Okay.
You will have security?
If needed, we'll have security, especially like on the Saturdays, Friday, Saturdays in the night,
We didn't
just for.
Your application says no security.
Yeah.
Well,
It's okay.
No, what I
We
mean
didn't
when
anticipate
okay,
that. So
I'm
if
sorry.
if you
No,
decide
no.
to, I have to.
If you
modify.
decide,
Just
if you approve this and you do decide that, you need some type of security, make sure you come back and
Okay.
be okay.
Okay, got it.
Are we ready to vote then?
Yes.
Commissioner Fan?
No manager, no security, pre-recorded music only, no dancing, no live music, no DJ, no promoters. Close 2 a.m. across the board. I vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
Same here.
Okey-doke.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The next item is 39, Addition, Inc. Mr. Visaki?
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Neil Visaki, here for the applicant at Dixion Inc. I'm here today with my client, Mr. Lozano, who's the sole shareholder and the president of the corporation. So I would imagine that the reason why I'm here, obviously, is because just short of 2 years ago, the last licensee, Ecstasis, was canceled because of a whole host of problems and disorderlies, et cetera, et cetera. I had originally gotten them their license. That license was short-lived, and then when they started accumulating, a lot of bad incidents and stuff, I kind of sent them to another attorney in Manhattan to kind of handle it. It's above what I usually normally handle. So It's been basically empty for 2 years, and I'm here with my client, who I think is a very, very strong applicant to go in there and run the place the right way. The place is a pool hall. It's going to be a bar, tavern, pool hall, and the place has been open, I believe, well over 20 years, served the community. And then, of course, when the last licensee, Ecstasis, went in there, there was the whole host of problems. But that whole neighborhood is up and coming. It's on Front Street. It's actually about directly across the street from a big place called Irby. There's a lot of activity, a lot of growth down there. And, we spoke with the community board, and the community board is, all for it. There's limited hours, Sunday through Thursday till 1 a.m., Friday and Saturday till 2 a.m. And, my client he's got a longer record of working in the security business. He himself has been a licensed security officer for about 10 years or so. He's presently working in Rumsey Hospital on Staten Island. He's also working in another licensed establishment. He's got a long history of really, sorting any problems or any issues out with violence. And this place in particular, before, I know it all had to do with really, I guess, not running it the right way, didn't have the proper security, and then it just got out of hand, and it was closed, rightfully so. But my client, like I said, he's not going to continue with any of his prior employment. He's going to make this, it's basically his dream. He's not that you can't have your dream at any time, but he's a family man. He's married, 3 kids. He's in his 40s. He saw a great opportunity to go in and kind of just run the whole show himself. He's going to be there. He's going to hire several employees, and specifically anybody that he hires is going to have experience in the restaurant and bar business. And he's going to take it slow. He's going to take it slow, and he's going to make sure, after my lecture, of course, of 20 minutes in my office, of what's going to get him in trouble and how he's going to get in trouble and what he must do. And he's agreed to everything wholeheartedly. I'm hoping that this is going to be really an asset to the community.
So 3 employees plus yourself, sir? Okay. Security at all? What type of security?
I talked to a company already to see if they want to come and check the place out and reopen black tie security.
Well, you have to decide what type of security you want, because that's part of the license.
Right.
So are you saying you're having security?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, they must have security.
What's the occupancy of this place?
Small, 69.
Okay.
Small, there's about 10 seats at the bar, maybe 14 small tables, cocktail tables, and
How many pool tables?
about eight or 9. 9.
All right. Your hours?
Open up around noontime, Sunday to Thursday, close at 1 a.m., and Friday
Friday,
and
Saturday, close at 2. Yeah, okay.
Yes, the community board stipulations,
All
yes. And he's going to supply his, I told him it's pretty, how important it is to basically, have the partnership with the local police department, the 12 precinct, to go there immediately, introduce yourself, to kind of just get on, I don't want to say the good side, but just let the police know that he's going to be active, he's going to be there every day, they're going to, have his cell phone number, and kind of just, if there would ever be a problem, to kind of just attack.
Have you had any discussions with the police department yet?
No, not at this
Okay.
time. No. That's something that could easily be had. Staten Island's very responsive. They have 4 precincts. All you have to do is make a phone call or go in and tell them you want to have an appointment with the commanding officer or the special operations lieutenant or something like that. And they'll grant, especially if you're a bar owner.
Yeah.
Do you have any other experience in food and beverage besides being the security guard at restaurants?
No, he doesn't. Small bar menu. They're gonna, I think there were like 7 items on the food menu. But like I mentioned, he's specifically gonna, get people involved who have bartending experience and stuff, and so it's not like they're gonna just get people who don't have any experience. It's certainly his bartenders, and as things progress, it's I guess that'll be his decision to bring people on board, but certainly people who are, have knowledge of the business. Right now, it's just him, totally full-time, with security, with a small menu, just kind of get up and running, and I think he's going to be, I think he's going to be good.
Okay.
You ready to vote?
Yes, with no objection from the community board, their hours of Sunday to Thursday, 1 a.m., Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m. I vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford.
Same here, although I am going to make sure it's official requirement to have security. I'll leave it up to you to how many, I'd say if you were the security guard, I wouldn't give you any trouble, I'm telling you. So,
Commissioner Fan, you okay with?
Yes, okay with security as well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice day.
you're welcome.
Next item is 18, Vino, Bueno, and Liquor LLC. Is there any opposition here?
Good morning, or good afternoon, I'm not sure which it is. Kathleen Negri-Stathopoulos, I'm the attorney for Vino, Bueno, and Liquor LLC, and standing to my left is the sole member, Rosie Rodriguez. So just to have a little procedural history on this, this is the third.
I'm sorry, there's only one applicant now?
Yes, I'm sorry, there's a second applicant who's not here today.
Okay.
Her husband. Just to give a little procedural history on it, on July 26th, 2016, we submitted an application for this. We came before the board October 25th of 2016. On the day we were here before the board, there was another application. It was a change of class application by the store that was closest to my client, Heritage Wines. That applicant filed the day before, so they went first. That application was approved. We came up immediately after. Commissioner Ford voted to approve our application. Chairman Bradley stated he could not approve it only for the reason that he had just approved a class change moments earlier and wanted to give some time to see how that applicant fared. He did further stated that he would not say never to the approval of the application, but wanted to give some time to the new license. Both Commissioner and Chairman highlighted the fact that the surrounding stores had increased in revenue and seemed to be holding their own. We submitted a second application about 9 months later. That application was actually denied immediately based on the fact that there were no change in circumstances. I did try to appeal that, a reconsideration. It was denied again. And basically, I was told we didn't wait long enough. And that's when we finally submitted this application and are here before you. Over 2 years has passed since Heritage Wines has received their full liquor. In looking at what they submitted as their revenue, it seems that they have increased in their revenue since then, as well as the other 3 stores seem to be holding their own as well, except for one store I noticed that didn't seem to respond. So we are just seeking to have this license approved at this level. We're hoping the third time is a charm. And just a few other things I would like to highlight. This was actually a liquor store. They left and relocated, so there was a liquor store there. There is tremendous growth in Fourth Green. I did put some articles in there. We do have a petition with 160 names from people who either work or live in the area. And it's a very small. I'm sorry, what was that? And it's a very, very small store. There's no basement, there's no storage. There's actually one small room that's about 4 by 4.
The applicant lives in Florida?
Her husband lives part-time in Florida.
Okay, and he's going to come back once you get this?
Yeah, back and forth, and my son,
And your son? How old is your son?
42.
Okay, but he's not on this application?
No.
He's just going to be working for you.
Yes,
So you live here full-time?
yes.
Actually, Ms. Rodriguez lives in Fort Greene, right by the store. She's also the landlord of the building.
Yes. Is there anything else in that building?
2 other stores.
There are 2 other stores. They're occupied now?
Yes.
And this storefront has been vacant this entire time?
Yes.
I don't think you'll give up unless we give it to you, so I vote to approve.
I already voted to
You
approve.
voted to approve, really?
So,
Thank you.
good luck.
Thank you.
Next item is number 2. It's a request for declaratory ruling regarding advertising rights at Hudson Yards.
We submitted supplemental renderings, which we brought hard copies for you, as well as larger renderings if it helps you perceive the space a little bit better.
Thank you.
While Juliana passes out the paperwork, we'll start. Barbara Kwan, partner with the law firm of Dano, McMullen, and Panoff. I have with me Jay Cross, who's the president of Related Hudson Yards, leading the company's development efforts for the 28-acre Hudson Yards site on the west side of the city. We understand that you've had an opportunity to review our request for declaratory ruling. We've included quite a bit of background and detail about Hudson Yards, prior rulings of previous boards, as well as the proposed method of operation. We're here to answer any questions you may have. Don't wish to repeat myself or recite portions that you've already read.
So as you know, this carve-out that you're trying to trigger is mostly reserved for large public sport and performance art venues.
Correct, in public venues.
And so it's not clear from the letter you sent that the plan for this sponsorship arrangement is going to be limited to the public areas at Hudson Yards.
I can tell you that it will be limited to the well-trafficked public areas of Hudson Yards, none of the retail spaces. Which is why we have the renderings, because we understand it's hard to perceive Hudson Yards in the way we're presenting it. If you flip through the renderings, you'll see we try and give you an angle of the public square and parks area that we're discussing. The one diagram that does not show the vessel is to show sort of the outer parameter where the retail begins.
Right, so the public areas, how do you define it?
You mean just
is there a
geographically,
list
or?
is there a list of elements that are included in this, or?
Not necessarily. It was just the public square and parks area. It is the largest privately owned property, but per zoning, it is public access and public walkways, enclosed and unenclosed.
So, for example, the shed would not be part of this because they're separate.
Correct.
Maybe to help with what I think Commissioner Finn is trying to get to is, this is just for this public area and this particular structure in this public area that you've now described as the Eastern Yards. Is that correct?
It will likely encompass walkways as well that lead to this area, but none of them are on retail premises.
So let me explain to you my concern. The other facilities where we've done this carve-out for, let's say Yankee Stadium or Barclays Center, the result of the sponsorship arrangement is that there's one license that controls the entire facility. I'm not sure how that would translate here, because I imagine that the vessel, I don't know if you plan to license that.
No.
What about the observation deck? Are you going to serve alcohol there?
A portion of the observation deck may or may not be licensed, but we would not have any sponsorship activations near any of the retail or on the retail sites at all that have retail licenses. This is only for public, non-licensed, and program space that's regularly trafficked by the public with thousands of daily visitors. It happens to have the vessel within it, but we do not plan on licensing anything in the public parks area. And just to draw a distinction for you with respect to Yankee Stadium and Barclays Center, those were enclosed retail premises within which there were sponsorship activations. We are here because Hudson Yards, as the property owner, does have retail interests throughout Hudson Yards and throughout the city. So clearly they cannot receive sponsorship funds from the wholesale supplier tier. But we are going further in wanting to make sure that with the common ownership and principles, Hudson Yards is further removing itself from the process by engaging, the carve-out of the third-party sponsorship agent, so that the public space, not even the retail space, will have sponsorship activations.
So is the public space all outdoors or any indoors, or?
Some portion of the public space is indoors. It's a defined zoning term.
Right.
So we have to have 50% of the entire site is dedicated to public space, of which a limited percentage of it is allowed to be covered public space, and that's really to facilitate people moving from the public square through the ground floor of the retail towards Penn Station. So there are two corridors through the retail that are defined as public space and subject to all the same restrictions as
Right.
the outdoor public space.
So, I mean, in your documents, you mentioned the High Line, which presumably is a completely separate entity and not part of this.
We are connected to the High Line at 30th Street.
Right, and they're licensed with their own vendors throughout the High Line. And so I think that and Commissioner, disagree with me if you don't agree, if you think it's wrong. It's I think I would like to see an exhibit of you actually self-describing to the T what is actually going to be defined under the public space, just so that we're all on the same page what's covered and what's not covered. What you're showing here with this example, you know, that's fine. But I think it would be helpful to see in writing exactly what is covered, because Hudson Yards is so gigantic, and I don't want there down the road to be a conversation of, well, that wasn't covered, or, you know, it's hard for us to enforce it. It's also, you don't want to be in a gray area. So let's clearly define what is going to be part of this. And can you come back on January 23rd?
We're happy to come back, and to avoid ambiguity, we can provide you with a written description as well as most likely like a bird's eye view.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful, obviously, because as you know, if there is a violation that we find without the declaratory ruling, we have only one remedy. And that's not a remedy that is anything short of draconian, so.
Understood. Thank you.
How long do you think you need for that?
We could be back on January 23rd.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think
So
that's a
we're
great idea.
You agree to January 23rd then?
Yep.
Yes.
Fine with me.
Yep, that's a great idea.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next item is 58, Porto Plateau Restaurant, Inc.
Good afternoon. My name is John Springer. I'm standing in for Franklin Janeo. I'm here because I noticed this on the agenda as a default. I contacted him. He said he didn't understand. He had a notice of appearance and a plea in his file and a request for bill of particulars. I asked him for the fax receipt. He said he couldn't find it. He may not have faxed it.
Well, you're a very nice friend. Back to counsel's office. It's fine with me.
Back to council?
Thank
Fine
you.
with me,
Yes, that'll be fine.
The next item is 36, Fiascheria West LTD.
John Springer for the applicant. With me is Esteban Molina. He's one of the principals. This appears to be a breakdown of communication with licensing over the address. We have been asked to change the address from 114 Christopher Street to 116 Christopher Street. I questioned it. I didn't get any response, and then we got a disapproval. Apparently, there is a store, a bar. There is a bar at 114 Christopher Street. I would ask it to be sent back to licensing and that we amend the application, say 114 Store A.
That's fine with me.
Could I ask this not go to the bottom of the pile?
Commissioner Ford, you okay?
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely, yeah. It looks to me like.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Some confusion on the paperwork, so, yeah, fine.
Next item is 37, Vapor Lounge and Bar Corp.
Good afternoon, I'm Adam Clayton Powell for the applicant, Vapor Lounge and Bar Corp. The applicant here has totally revamped his method of operation, dramatically curtailed the operating hours. He has actually opened the restaurant about 7, 8 months ago. It's a Mexican restaurant, and a year ago. He's not interested in DJ or any other problems that were caused in the previous location. Again, his method of operation has completely changed. He wants no part of late night hours. He's asking for 12 midnight, maybe 1 a.m. Friday and Saturdays.
Who's with him?
The applicant, Raul Acosta. He's had several licenses in the past, including Mnmb for about 14 years with.
Is that your manager, or is that?
The owner, the sole owner.
I think you're the owner. Commissioner wants to know who else is with you?
Owner Raul Acosta, Sonia Enriquez is the manager, and Ariela Tavares, who prepared the application.
Okay.
We have submitted several signatures, nearly 1,000 in support, along with letters from the local leaders, city council member, assembly member, and state senator. Previous location had issues that were getting out of control. They had a 4 a.m. license and manager that was not informing the owner of a lot of what was going on between 1 and 4 a.m. The owner was there until midnight, 1 a.m., go home, and next thing you know, there were all kinds of problems. He wants no
Don't think they
part of
had
that.
adequate security either.
No part, yeah, he wants no part of that. He's a simple, quiet family man who's never had clubs, and again, I even told him, should we ask for 2 a.m.? He said he wouldn't take 2 a.m. if you gave it to him. He wants no part of late night.
We ready to vote?
Wait, sorry. The manager, you worked at Floridita Restaurant?
He's actually the owner of one of the Floriditas.
Oh, you're the owner of that restaurant. So there's pretty significant adverse history at that restaurant. You're not a co-owner of this place, you're just hired as a manager? But you still own the other place? Or is it closed?
I think you're talking about the Brooklyn location?
Yes.
So
You sold it.
she doesn't want the-
When did you sell it?
¿Cuándo?
She recently sold it.
It was December.
And-
We surrendered the license to the SLA.
And the primary reason was she wants to become a full-time manager at this location.
Okay.
And he's in the process of selling his other restaurant because he only wants to be here. He's in kind of like the retirement mode.
Just out of curiosity, though, this is a restaurant,
It is.
right? With karaoke?
No, we don't want any of that.
Okay, I'm just looking at the community board stipulations, so I just want to be very clear about this.
He just wants a DJ just for mariachi fans, only mariachi. I mean DJ, I'm sorry, live music for mariachi, and recorded music will be very soft. The volume, again, the hours will be midnight.
Mariachi's what, 2, 3-piece?
Yeah, 2, 3 piece.
Acoustic, right?
Right. The food has received great reviews on Yelp, and, TripAdvisor, and other
Okay.
applications.
I would just counsel that if we're going to grant this license, if the board's going to grant this license, just to make sure that everything's incorporated on the license per the stipulations, et cetera.
What are the stipulations?
I'm sorry, it's.
No, none of that, none of that.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Only recorded and live mariachi.
So no record, so you don't want karaoke, but 2-piece non-amplified. 2-piece or 3 pieces?
3-piece sometimes, mariachis, yeah, it's mariachi.
It's better when it's 3.
Yes, yes.
So, yes, sure.
And we're good to go.
So,
Are we ready to vote then?
Vapor was just canceled.
September 2017.
September.
Remained closed for about 6 months, and they reopened as Rincon Mexicano, strictly a Mexican restaurant, about a year ago.
But still with the same principle, Mr. Acosta.
Right, but under different management, the hours will be reduced significantly to 11 p.m. if need be. No DJ,
The
no,
location's completely
yeah.
exempt. It's not, he put his money where his mouth is. We heard Chairman Bradley with the violations. He tried to open a bar, it didn't work. He went out of his lane, which is the restaurants, but his prior restaurant has no violations and they were open 24 hours a day. Never, no issues with, he's a good operator. It was just out of his lane. So he closed the
Yeah,
place.
he was out of his league, and he deeply regrets the situation. That's why he wants no part of late night hours. We
And
have
that was
letters of support from the NYPD, the local
Even
precinct.
the NYPD supports this
Yeah.
model, because he really, he really turned it around.
And they renovated the place. It's all glass, so you can see inside very easily.
Night
It's
and
a
day
restaurant.
from the former
It's been open since when?
About March? May? May.
Are
Got
you,
great
are you
reviews
Ms.
on Yelp.
Enriquez? Okay, all right.
Got great reviews on their food, which is about the only thing we did not submit Friday via email, was the menu. But this would be strictly a family-friendly Mexican restaurant.
And I would add,
Well, why don't we let the members vote, okay? Because if they've heard you already in support.
I had one thing to add.
Go ahead.
Between the two of them, they hire over 500 people in Washington Heights. A Mexican restaurant without a liquor license might as well be closed. Without a mariachi, it's like without a liquor license because it is a Mexican restaurant. We have people with history, people who know how to operate these establishments, and people who have made mistakes, but he literally went to the community board, transformed this location, and we had a unanimous vote. In addition to that, it's unheard of that a precinct would write a letter in support of an application. We won't survive without a liquor license.
Well, the 500-foot hearing did come out saying the applicant has not yet met the statutory burden of demonstrating the public convenience advantage.
Ms. Taveras, stop. Let Commissioner Fan explain her vote.
So,
Commissioner Fan, if I may be heard on public convenience and advantage, one of the elements on public convenience.
Ms. Taveras.
It's okay.
One of the elements on public convenience and advantage is unique concept. There's no Mexican restaurant of that nature in the neighborhood. The public convenience is met because hiring in that community is difficult. Doors will be shutting because of the $15 an hour change by the governor's office. They have met the burden because there's experience, there's operational changes, they've learned from their mistakes, and going forward, I think that the big issue is with the meeting the public burden, would it be in the benefit of the public? What's gonna happen, their doors shut and somebody else opens a location that will not be in the benefit of the public. We've put our money where our mouth is. That change cost a whole bunch of money. He kept the doors closed. He stepped out of his lane. He will not step out of it again. And I would dare say that we were asking for an opportunity. Jobs in Washington Heights, we do.
And again, the hours alone will curtail any, you
You'll
know,
never see us here again, Ms. Fan.
any difficult element. 11 p.m. is all they want.
We'd even go down to 11.
Yeah.
Because we're not playing around here. We want to keep our doors open
You take 11?
every day of the week and midnight, maybe Friday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, with no objection from the community board, no objection from the police, and a lot of political support, I am willing to look past the prior history with the owner and the manager. I hope you don't make a liar out of all of us. I don't want to see you here again. I will do midnight across the board. You have to
10
talk to
a.m.
this
to
man
open,
now.
please.
I don't care when you open.
Okay.
Commissioner Ford?
Well, I got to tell you, I was going to vote to deny. And I guess, what kind of maybe changed my opinion here last minute was the position of the community board and the fact that you're willing to close earlier hours because, as it has been my experience since I've been on this board the past 2.5 years, is that everything goes to hell past midnight in these places around here. And if you can get people out of the place before people have a chance to stay there and just, well, I got to tell you, if we can get out of there by midnight, I'm willing to approve this. I mean, you have the position of several local politicians as well. So I'm hoping, just like Commissioner Fan said, that you guys don't make fools of us. And so I'm willing to vote to approve as well.
And just for, go
With
ahead.
12 o'clock closing, right?
12 o'clock, yes.
And just for clarity, there's only background music and mariachi. That's and then
Yes, three-piece acoustic.
and no promoters or anything like that at
No.
the restaurant. So there's no. I just want to make sure that that's incorporated.
That'll be all.
Yes, and all the stipulations that you agreed upon with the community board applies to this license. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Happy New Year.
You're welcome.
The next item is 60, Rogue Tamara Chelsea LLC.
Good afternoon. I'm Andrea Canada. I'm here in place of Emmanuel Verstraeten, who's the licensee and the owner for Rouge Schmat Chelsea.
And what is your capacity here?
He's my boss. I worked for Rouge Schmat Chelsea as like a marketing manager and IT support.
Do you know why that's before the board?
I can answer some questions about
No,
it.
I mean, there was a pleading that that the licensee did not answer.
Okay, so the restaurant closed in October, and it's not going to reopen anymore. The Emmanuel Verstraeten is a Belgian citizen. So once the restaurant closed, he was evicted, and he returned to Europe to be with his family, and back home he couldn't stay in New York anymore. When the restaurant closed and he was anticipating being evicted, there was a delay in getting mail. So he wasn't.
I see in the record that the mail was delivered, but I think in fairness to you, I would just suggest to the members, instead of imposing a fine or anything like that, I would just cancel if the.
Yeah, I was gonna just cancel.
Well, he would be happy to surrender the license. He's not in the country to do it right now.
Yeah.
If that's a possibility.
But it's in our
Doesn't even have the
possession.
license, though.
Right, well, so, because I've read in the thing that the marshal took it when he was evicted, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they gave it to us.
Right, so there's not an opportunity for him to surrender it anymore?
Yeah.
I would just note cancel for the record.
Just no cancel for the record.
Just cancellation, no bond claim or
Yeah.
anything else?
No, no bond claim. Just
Okay.
cancel for the record.
Cancel for the record?
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Next item is 22, Happy Cork Incorporated.
Good afternoon. My name is Ramo Foss, and I'm the owner of the proposed liquor store, Happy Cork Incorporated, to be located on 51 Buffalo Ave, Brooklyn, New York. I have multiple exhibits to present as part of my file, which have been submitted by my representative. I have more copies available should you need any to follow along.
And who is with you?
This is my wife.
And she's gonna be running the business? Okay. And what experience do you have in running liquor stores?
I don't have any experience running liquor stores, but I've run several businesses previously, as well as our real estate business.
Okay.
I've owned the building where the stores will be located for the past 3 years.
Okay.
And as a property owner in that area, I have had the chance to witness the changes in this part of Brooklyn, as far as the developments and surge of the number of young professionals moving into the area, and just overall changes in the demographics. Because of this point, I thought this would be a great location for my liquor store and my concept. I will elaborate on the concept in just a moment. First, I want to explain our service area. If you can look at Exhibit B on the colored map, you will see the yellow shaded area, which represents the immediate area that I will service. This area stretches from Buffalo Ave about halfway through Utica Ave and Schenectady Ave in width. It also reaches from just south of Bergen Street to just north of Fulton Street in length. And there's a second service area north. This stretches from south of Marion Street to Decatur Street in length and from the right after Patchen Ave to Stuyvesant Ave in width. Now, since the submission, we extended our service area just 2 more streets after Buffalo Ave Avenue to cover Kane Place and Columbus Place, because the closest competitor who services this area, currently Right Choice Liquors, has a limited selection of inventory and also doesn't accept credit cards. This is a big negative for our modern consumer.
How do you define service areas? You just mean that people are going to walk from their homes in this location?
Yes.
But it doesn't define like delivery or anything that you're planning to do in the area?
Not that map, no, it doesn't define delivery, no.
Okay.
Building within the larger first service area alone, there's 2,050 residential units. This is proof of just how densely populated my proposed service area is, and it shows that there are enough residents to support just one specialized small store without hurting the sales of any current stores.
This is in Crown Heights?
It's in Bed-Stuy.
Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
And you guys live there?
Yeah.
How close do you live to the store?
We're approximately like 5 blocks away.
5 blocks away?
Yeah.
And you own the building for 3 years?
Yes.
What was there before?
It was a liquor store there before.
It was a liquor store before?
Yeah, not specialized, just a liquor store.
And when did they close?
Location?
Same location, yeah. Sorry?
When did they close?
They closed August 2016.
Do you know why they closed?
I haven't got any facts to give you, just from talking with the tenant. He had multiple businesses that he was doing around New York City.
Okay. So what are you going to be doing differently?
It's specialized wine, so it's not the same kind of alcohol that's in the stores around. We're going to be providing organic wine, specialty liquor. We're not going to be stocking any of the similar products that
Small batch productions.
we're not going to be stocking any products that are in the area.
You guys studied wine or know about wine, or what's the history there?
Back in England, I used to work for a liquor store. We call it a wine store.
Okay.
For about a year. I see from the developments in parts of London, when the area was changing, how these stores were doing quite well in comparison to your liquor stores. And we're also seeing the same thing here in parts of Brooklyn, New York, and that's where the opportunity is coming from. We feel there's other demographic to cater for, and provide them with an area to walk into that's not a bulletproof glass, and they can go in and pick up and have an experience, having someone describe the wines, tell them about the wines, instead of looking at it from the outside in and through the bulletproof.
And what about you?
For me, I've been doing a few classes. We have met with a few sommeliers that we're planning to have classes at the store. We're planning to have tasting, just to kind of educate the community also in terms of what's out there, more natural, more organic wines and liquors. Just a completely different selection from what's already being offered out there.
It looks like you're planning one of the smallest, not bulletproof stores I've ever seen.
So it's more of a boutique sort of store,
Yeah.
and it's very tailored, a very curated selection, very hand-selected assortment. We're not planning to offer 50 million different versions of what's already out there.
What's your balance between spirits and and wine?
It would be more of the focus would be on your wine, and less of a focus on spirits. But we are planning on, especially with your spirits, to do spirits from smaller batch productions and newer family-run businesses, so.
So something like, say, maybe 80-20 wines over, or something like that?
Something
Not
like
holding
that.
to it
Yeah,
yet,
like
yet.
80, 20, 70,
Yeah.
30 kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
And more, of course, when we have different specials and focuses on different wine and liquor stores.
All right.
So you guys own the building together?
Yes.
How come you're not on this license?
So the plan would be if, when we're successful, to hopefully open up a location under my name.
Got it.
Thinking down the road.
Okay.
Be very careful with
When
that.
we're
Not that, but just be careful.
Commissioner?
Yeah, I'm good.
Ready to vote? Commissioner Fan?
Numbers really are not great in the area, but I do think there is growth in Bed-Stuy. And this is a really small store with a very specific business plan. I hope it is successful. And with that, I vote to approve.
Thank you. Thanks.
I am impressed with your, the thought that's gone into your business plan. And she says thank you, notice that, so. Caught that right away. She says thank you. So I wish you guys the best of luck. I think you're a small store, and I think you're going to provide a niche that maybe others aren't. So I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Next is number 19, Canister Restaurant and Bar Corp.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Nakmias. I'm the attorney for the applicant who's seeking a liquor license at a existing restaurant at 14407 Jamaica Avenue. It's a commercial thoroughfare. The restaurant's been operating since around May, and now they're seeking a liquor license. It's a small restaurant, has a capacity for about 38 persons. Seating for 34 with 10 tables, 30 seats, 4 bar seats. Not expecting to reach that capacity really. And they'll have 4 employees. With me I have the applicant, who's the sole owner of the corporation, and it's a family-run business. His father and his mother and his sister have been helping with the restaurant and will continue to do so if the application is approved.
What are your hours? What are you planning?
Currently, right now, we're functioning from 8 to 10, but we're trying to function from 8 to 4 a.m.
8 to 4 a.m. on your, but it says the cook chef will devote 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
9, no, it should be around 10 p.m.
Because if we granted this, it would have to match the hours that you're open.
The chef cooking?
Well, or the kitchen has to be open same hours, right? Is that correct?
Has to provide food at all
Yeah,
times.
you need the food available.
Right, because we're going to have a bar menu, that's what we're planning to have. And that's really like frying stuff. And
It says Canister Restaurant and Bar, that's why.
So you're a restaurant during the day and a bar at night?
I think the plan is for the chef to stop the full kitchen at around 9 or 10 o'clock, and then they would transition to simply bar food for the remaining operating hours.
Correct.
Is that okay? I don't know.
What's your previous experience in food and beverage before this restaurant?
My mom and my aunt, they worked in the restaurant industry for over 10 years. Myself, I've worked in customer service for over 20 years, dealing with clients in restaurant business, bar businesses. So I have a lot of knowledge on that, the numbers and all that.
Jackie, I see on the method of operation that it's a restaurant, full kitchen, and full menu.
Yeah, but they're not going to provide the full event. Now, what, at 9 o'clock you're changing off? Between 9 and 4 a.m. you're going to be a bar?
But we're still gonna.
Well, we'd have
I mean,
a bar
somebody
with
comes-
bar food.
Bar with bar food, so it's not a restaurant anymore after 9.
The problem is the application's for just a restaurant. There's options for checking off restaurant and bar and things like that. And what Deputy
Those are not the
Commissioner Howell was
same
saying
as
is
the-
that you're switching from what it's in the application.
Well,
You have to be one or the other.
Or a combination, but it has to be in the application.
Keep the kitchen open?
No, I could definitely keep the kitchen open. I mean, I'll keep the full menu open, I don't mind.
So,
But just, of course, I'll have two chefs, 2 cooks.
We're
Like
not
you're not
forcing.
rolling up the tables, the dining tables or anything like that? No.
right, so there's no
Still
plan.
operate as a restaurant, have the food available.
Right.
I'm gonna have the food available, I'll just have to need 2 cooks. Make a extra cook at night, so we could do that. That's no problem.
Yeah, there's no plan to move the tables around or anything like that.
Yeah, like clear
They're gonna
it
be
off
seating.
and-
It's too small.
And did you meet with the community board for this?
No.
But you're notified.
You notified them?
We sent the notice, and actually I spoke with them, Community Board 12 in Queens, and they said they really don't take
They
any
don't do
action on it.
meetings.
So I assume you're asking for hours till 4 a.m. Is that what I heard? And opening when? Not that it matters, but what time do you gonna open?
She said 8 to 4.
8 a.m. to
We
4
start serving
a.m.
breakfast at 8, yeah.
You know about the history at this location?
It's pretty bad.
Not much.
It's not good.
I know that it was closed down in March, and then
How'd you find the place?
searching. We're going around, driving around, seeing for rent signs.
Commissioner?
As long as you don't have any relationship to the former owner here.
At the end, it's family based. It's me, my dad, my mom,
Yeah.
my aunt.
Yeah.
They're the ones that help me out.
There's no relation whatsoever to the prior owner, prior establishment.
I don't have a problem with this. Do you have any plans for having any security? Any need for it?
No need for it. I mean, like I said.
What's the
it's-
capacity again?
38 max.
Oh, yeah, I approve.
Commissioner Fan?
I vote to approve as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Next item is number 70, Team Papelita, Inc.
Good afternoon, everyone. Argelio Rodriguez here for Team Papeleta, Inc. I apologize that the principal, Jada Valerio, can't be here. She's actually due to give birth any day now. This is an application to extend the hours of operation. The current hours are 1 a.m. Sunday through Wednesday and 2 a.m. Thursday through Saturday. The proposed hours are 2 a.m. Monday through Tuesday, 3 a.m. on Wednesday, and 4 a.m. Thursday through Sunday. We've provided letters of support from Councilman Danis Rodriguez and Assemblywoman Carmen de la Rosa.
Counsel the members that if you're going to consider this, that this might be held over for the applicant to apply considering the history at this location. Not saying yes, sir, I'm just saying, I think that in a case like this, where you have such an incredible history, that at a minimum, the person, the licensee, even though I'm looking at the history recently, they at least should be present to answer questions the members might have.
Yeah, they've only been open since March, so not even a year yet. right?
They've been operating for a year.
No, they've been
Oh,
since March.
since they're licensed since March, you're right.
So there's no adverse history yet, but, that doesn't exclude what happened here before. I would like to actually talk to the licensee herself. You said she's,
I mean, that's my concern in this situation.
yeah. So we could put it over to 123, could we put over?
Well, why
Is
don't,
that
That's what I'm
she's
saying.
due
But
for,
maybe
to
till
give,
February or something like that, or what? What do you think?
I mean,
we can put it over to February 20th.
exactly. I mean, if it's going to get put over, then I ask that it not be put over immediately.
Right, we'll put it over to February 20th, and then if for some reason that's still not a good time, just let the Secretary's office know, and we'll if the commissioners have no objection, we'll just move it to another date.
And that also is another month of.
I don't know if you
Okay,
meant
as long as
choosing-
there's consideration
I don't know
on
if you
that.
meant choosing labor today, I guess that's what I was thinking.
Not today, but
Not
any
today,
day.
but close, all right. So to what, to?
It'll be 2:20 for now, and if it has to be moved, you'll contact us, and then we'll just go ahead and move it. And we'll let you know accordingly.
Okay, that's fair enough. Thank you.
Next item is 32, Hillside Grocery and Deli, Inc.
Neil Trivedi, on behalf of the applicant. I have here Naveed Khan, who's the president of the corporation.
Weren't you just here recently?
For God Bless Pizza for an on-premise license that was approved about maybe 2 months ago. Yeah.
Right. This is already operating, right?
Yes.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem either. I'll approve it.
Thank you.
Vote to approve.
It's on a single offense sale minor. because they-
Next item is 12, Corcho Corp.
2014.
Number 12 is next.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Mark Weinstein for Corcho Corp. and Benji Polanco, one of the corporate principals.
So we received the check?
Yes, my client had sent in the check and for renewal and actually $1,000 penalty. And hence, after that was
We haven't posted it yet. It
sent.
hasn't been forwarded to licensing to
Right,
post.
it was, we were commissioned to come here, so we're respectfully requesting that his license is reinstated and he can serve alcohol.
That's fine. I'll grant the recon, stay the cancellation, subject your check is good.
It was a money order.
Right.
Oh, that's definitely good.
So was there a new
Cancellation will be rescinded, and the penalty is swapped out for $1,000. Commissioner Ford, you good with that?
So it's reinstated, thank you. How does he pick up the license, or how does that?
Well, it was stayed, so he didn't get it.
You have the license? They have the license.
Somebody wanted the license
Right.
on
Yeah,
October
it's showing active. I don't
Right,
know
so
what
did he
the
get the actual certificate back?
No.
He'll need to contact the Enforcement Bureau, because they may have the document.
Like literally, we could just go there?
You could go right now if you want.
Okay.
They may not know what just happened, though.
Okay, so,
You can tell them.
But as of right now, he's active, as
Okay.
Deputy Commissioner
okay, so
Hill
if it's
said.
in the system, we'll tell them that we're.
You're right.
We appreciate your time, thank you. Have a good New Year,
Counsel, if the
too.
money is in counsel's office, could they get it forwarded to licensing for depositing? The money hasn't been
I'm sure
deposited.
Mark, yeah.
Okay.
No, you're
You're good. You're good.
set.
Yeah, you're
Next item is 20, La Sorpresa Restaurant Corp.
Not as complicated as the other one. Good afternoon, members of the authority. Aurelia Taveras for the applicant, Mr. Mendez. We're here before you to present La Sorpresa Restaurant, a small restaurant on a commercial strip in the Bronx, right by the 4-train, right? 4-train. This is a a restaurant with 3 booths, 4 seats each, 8 seats at the counter, and 6 circular tables of 2 seats. It's pretty small, it's just long. The applicant is applying for his full liquor license so that he is able to service the customers who are asking for this type of beverage,
What kind of beverage is that?
alcohol.
Okay.
You live in New Jersey, right?
So no security guards?
He's planning to run a straight-up restaurant. If the members of the authority believe a security guard is necessary, we're only asking till 2 a.m. There's no dancing, there's no partying. It's a straight restaurant. If you believe that it's necessary, it's not a really dangerous strip.
So no security guard, but 2 a.m.?
2 a.m.
Okay.
And how many seats are there?
I'm okay with
There's
that.
8 seats at the counter.
You want karaoke with that few seats?
No, it's the ones, but we have seats on the side, Mr. Riano. We have 3 booths of 4 seats each, and then there's 6 tables of 2 on the side. So it's something, people like that.
Which
and they
makes,
have a
no, I
big
understand
TV.
it recorded and jukebox, but karaoke?
I didn't like karaoke until I went one day and did it in Astoria, and now I'm a karaoke girl. It's fun. It makes lunch and makes the group happier, and I don't know, it's fun. It's an activity. I don't even drink alcohol.
I'm Asian.
So you like karaoke. There are a lot of karaoke bars in Astoria.
So it's a mixed-use block. Bad adverse history at the location, but I am okay with recorded music, no live music, except for karaoke, no dancing, no promoters, no all-you-can-eat, 2 a.m. Commissioner?
2 a.m., 7 days a week?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Next item is 73 DeSalvo and Sons LLC.
73?
73.
July is okay.
July's okay.
July is fine.
Thank you so much.
That's the summer shutdown week month, isn't it?
August, isn't summer shut down
So they're going to be closed.
Pass.
Oh,
Whatever is
Walked
least
out of here
damage.
fast.
Well,
Quick.
Yeah. What's next?
the next item is 47 RL Valley Inc. Yeah, maybe I pulled that by mistake. How about 56 Third Leaf Ventures LLC?
It's so random.
Also just, this is a conditional no contest. I happen to be here.
47,000, I'll accept. Commissioner?
Yes, 47,000, accept.
Thank you.
Next item I have is 68 Sunset Restaurant 49 Inc.
68.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rosa Ruiz. I'm the representative for Sunset Restaurant 49 Inc., and this is an application for a full on-premises license.
There's a location stop on this location.
Yeah,
Right?
that's just a flag. That's technically, yeah, it just means it has to go, any other application has to go to the full board.
And to answer your question, he does not know the previous owner,
Yeah.
never met him, didn't have anything to do with him.
They were
What about at
canceled.
Solaris Corp?
I'm sorry?
Solaris Corp.
Yes, so Domingo is currently the applicant. He's the owner of that license.
Many years of purchased from unauthorized sources.
Yep, so that was when he first became a licensee. He wasn't, he thought as long as he was paying a tax, but all that's been resolved. Other than that, he doesn't have anything else.
Bad history. You guys are brothers?
Yes.
You're both continuing your current employment.
Well, actually, he's going to continue his current employment. He's still going to keep his other.
Who's who?
This is Francisco.
Okay.
This is Domingo. So
Okay.
what Domingo is going to do, if the license does get approved, is that he's going to hire a manager, which is going to be another brother of his, to manage the current license.
Okay.
And then this way he can devote more time to when this restaurant opens and he can be there, to get everything started.
Okay. And what are you gonna do? You do the paperwork. Who's purchasing the alcohol?
Domingo will be purchasing the alcohol. He's learned his lesson.
Okay.
Domingo, you were the one who was fined for purchasing from an unauthorized source, correct? Okay. So obviously you know you can't do that anymore.
I learned my lesson.
What are the hours?
Because we've gone over the history, and he wants to demonstrate that he's going to operate a good establishment. So he wants to do 11 a.m. to 1 a.m., Sunday through Wednesday, and then 2 o'clock in the morning, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. No DJ, no live music.
Have you talked to the local police to?
Let me go.
Yes.
And what have they said and what have you learned?
No, I had a very good relationship with them, and they said that was okay. Matter of fact, I worked with them for them. We do all the food, for the city.
Oh, okay.
I work, with the police department, with the city, with everything. From my other location.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I'm good here.
Given a positive 500-foot hearing report, 1 a.m. Monday to Wednesday, 2 a.m. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 1 security guard, 8 employees, 1 manager. What's the music situation?
Background music only.
Background music only. Windows don't open, do they?
What was that?
Windows?
Windows? Yeah. No, there's no window open, so yeah.
Okay. With that, I vote to approve.
No dancing, no karaoke, nothing like that. All right, so.
You're open Sunday, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So, Sunday
All right.
through Wednesday, 1, and then
Sunday
Thursday,
through
Friday.
Wednesday, is that, okay, Commissioner Fan, you indicated Monday through Wednesday. Are you good with Monday? Sorry, Monday through Wednesday. Is it Sunday through Wednesday, 1 a.m.? Commissioner Fan?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, yeah, there's no protests, and the hearing judge said that he considered that you had met your statutory burden, so I'm going to vote to approve as well.
Okay.
Good luck, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
All right, the next item is 30, the Chimney Corner Deli Corp.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Veronica Rodriguez, and I am the owner of the Chimney Corner on 5624 Brooklyn, 5624, sorry, I'm nervous. 5624 4th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11220.
Who did you buy the store from?
Well, I bought it, I gave my money to Mrs. Wong and Mr. Kwan, they are the owners of the building. I heard in passing that it was open, it was available to Sorry, I'm nervous. It was open for business, and I directly contacted her.
So,
You bought the store from the landlord?
I rent. I lease. It's a lease. It's not owned by me.
Oh,
rent.
I see.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
previous owners there? And
Previous owners there,
the
I
grocer of the
believe
store.
so, but nothing.
you don't know them, have any relationship with any?
No, not at all.
Because there were a couple of them we canceled for, no one is surrendered. Did we cancel them or they were surrendered? Not sure.
How did you find out about the store?
In passing by people just talking, it was
surrendered,
available
and so
for
we
business.
subsequently canceled.
And I saw an opportunity, just not be,
Right, and when you got there, it was closed.
when I got there, it was closed, yeah.
I see.
I guess whoever was the owner or whoever that was leasing or renting there before, they had gotten out, or Mrs. Wong and Mr. Kwan didn't have a problem leasing it to me.
Have you ever been involved in trafficking liquor before?
No.
Would you consider getting a scanner?
Yes.
Commissioner?
Yeah, I'm fine with this one. I don't have any other questions.
Okay, just be careful with sales and minor.
Oh, trust me. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Vote to approve.
Next item is 26, Shed Tobacco Restaurant, Inc.
Good afternoon, Board. My name is Nan Zhang. I'm the attorney representing Chen Tobacco Restaurant, Inc. Right next to me is the owner, Mr. Chen. This is a new application, but the last application was disapproved for issues that related to him acting, inappropriately after purchasing the restaurant, and there was a disapproval back in March of last year due to the fact that it was the investigation and liquor was sold without having the actual paying the license while the license was pending. And at this time, Mr. Chen has been in the restaurant business. However, he never fully managed a restaurant before, and it was an ill-advised move. And when I met with him, he brought me the disapproval notice, and I told him it's very hard for the board to reconsider your position given the fact of what you did. That's why at that point I asked him to reapply, given the opportunity to appear in front of the full board, asked him to give him an opportunity as a new owner. And after close to a year of restaurant business management under the belt, we're hoping the board will give him an opportunity. He can take classes and provide scanners, and at this time, we're just hoping the board can reconsider.
Do you live in Boston?
No, he doesn't live in Boston. That was he still have the license in Boston, but he actually lives in Flushing now.
How often do you go to your restaurant?
You want me to? He doesn't speak much English, so I will translate. He actually is the manager. He goes there on a daily basis. He managed the whole staff with him and his wife. So it's close to a family-owned business. The hours of operation is normal for a typical restaurant from 10 to 11. And it's nothing, there's no dancing, there's no loud music. It's just a full-on restaurant in a sense.
So there are allegations here that it was serving liquor before, right?
Yeah, it was, I'll be honest with the board, it was the liquor, the beer that was left over from the previous restaurant owner when it was transferred to the restaurant. After the incident, there was an employee that sold liquor to the investigator, and I told him you can't do that. And after I met with him, obviously, the attorney that represented him for the restaurant transfer, the CPA that represented him for the application, I don't know what information was conveyed to him, what he can and cannot do, but when he first met with me, I said it's absolutely a no-no. And I told him, even though you might not have the experience of managing a restaurant, these are the things that you cannot do. And I think he has seen other people did it before, and I don't get me wrong, he fully take responsibility for his mistakes, and we're just asking the board for the sympathy for his inexperience.
Are you going to give him the advice on authorized wholesalers and all of that? Like, you're going to give him?
Yeah, I'll give him, I'm pretty experienced in applying for liquor license and so forth. I can give him the advice of what to do to operate the restaurant with purchasing alcohol legally and so forth, and all the like I said, he can take classes, all the employee can take classes and scanners and to be provided to make sure that everything runs smoothly.
Okay.
We ready to vote?
I'm going to vote to approve.
Commissioner Ford?
I'll vote to approve as well.
Thank you, Board. Just a quick question. Is there any other conditionals that I need to follow up, or it will be as this
You'll
for
receive a
everything?
letter with the conditions that are left before you can pick up the license.
Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you.
The next items are items 78 and 79, Lost Trace Laurellis Corp.
Good afternoon,
79.
Louis Chisari for the licensee. This is a CNC for $5,000?
I'll accept.
Accept.
The next item is 21, to Ms. Carol NY Corp.
The licensee is represented by Robert Race, but I'm filling in for Mr. Race. He's in Florida. So this is an application, obviously, for a small bar tavern in, I believe it's Roosevelt Avenue. Yes, Roosevelt Avenue, our favorite place.
What are the hours?
2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. Oh. Until 4. He's asking for until 4.
What? It's until 4 or 2?
Until 4. I'm sorry, I'm not understanding what he was saying to me. Yes, he's asking for 4 a.m. My understanding is there was no community board opposition when they met with the community board.
Actually, let me think. The Public Safety Committee, with a quorum present, voted unanimously to approve the above application. So the committee did anyway, but not the board.
Yes.
And also the hearing, the ALJ concluded that that the applicant has met the statutory burden, public convenience and advantage. No other protest, so I'll vote to approve.
I'll go to 2 a.m. Roosevelt Avenue with adverse history at the location. I'm going to start with 2 a.m.
Okay, thank you. And how long would the board prefer before this applicant applied for a change of operation?
In operation for 1 year.
1 year? Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Next item is 34, Rakusin Elmhurst, Inc.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is James Wang, the representative. He's the owner, Jen Lin.
Just let the members know there was this community board did provide a.
Yes, they said they're
and
okay
now
with
they
it, right?
approve.
Is construction complete now?
Yeah,
Yes.
they have sign off everything.
That was the only reason this was coming.
Yes.
to the-
What are the hours?
Will be 11 to 12, 7 days a week.
Okay. Midnight across the board. I'm okay with it.
Approved, midnight across the board.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And the next item is 91, Ambassade of Lenox, New York, Inc.
Charge 1 is sustained.
Mr. Fall?
Yes, sir.
I'm at 3,000.
Paid a total like $9,000 in fines here over the past couple of years here. Nothing for selling to a minor, but disorderly premises, late renewals, security guards. What did you say, 3,000?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to double that to 6,000. And, you know, you're developing a nice case history here. So I'm at 6,000.
Yes, I mean,
Well, they need to decide among themselves where they're going to
okay,
go.
first,
so.
yeah, all right.
It's more to it than just a sale to a minor this time. I'm looking at your history.
You know, the other option, I can, you know, if you want to have it held over for a third vote to, if we're at loggerheads, so to speak.
Yeah.
6,000 is okay with me.
6,000 it is.
That's the penalty. 6,000 is a penalty.
Can I argue that, or? That's final? I mean, Commissioner, and then if you look at the allegation, it was not a
The
sale.
charge has already been sustained by the board, so that, I don't mind.
But there's a lot of discrepancy on the
There
charges.
was, what Counselor said, there was a hearing already, so the issue of whether or not it happened is settled. Okay, the only issue is how much the penalty should be. And as Commissioner Ford noted, you've got quite the history here at this place.
Well, those I spoke to, I mean, I explained myself to the commissioner this time that the security guard, when I first applied, I didn't apply for security guard. As business picked up, then when there was a visit, I applied for the security
Right,
guard.
but you have, the members looked at your history, they've decided on $6,000, so that's the penalty.
Yep.
The next item is 40 Cuckoo Bar, Inc.
Terrence Flynn on behalf of the licensee. This was the result of a hearing. Matter is here. The ALJ sustained the charge in this matter. I believe the ALJ was wrong in that decision. The ALJ notes what the burden of proof is and also goes on to say that the credibility of the undercover was never brought into question, but it was brought into question throughout the entire case by the fact that all the paperwork was incorrect. It was incorrect as to who was behind the bar, who was there, who got the summons. Every bit of the paperwork was off. The undercover didn't come, so there's no way of questioning the undercover about it, but when the officer who did testify showed up, he testified that I was out in the car the entire time, and I came in after everything was done. I didn't see anything, but this is what I was told based upon the undercover. But meanwhile, every bit of the undercover's paperwork was incorrect.
I think this ALJ is as reasonable as they come, so I will sustain charge number 1. I'll let Commissioner Ford decide.
The only thing I would counsel is, I would counsel a fine and not a cancellation on this.
Yeah. So far, $25,500 in previous fines. Again, it sounds like a broken record here, repeating myself over the past 2 or 3 years. I'll go with 6,000 on this one too.
6,000?
Yeah, and it should be really higher, but 6,000.
$6,000.
All right, the next item is 46, PRP Restaurant, Inc.
This is an offer of compromise to resolve the charges.
I'm sorry, what number is that, Mr. Donahue?
46.
Should be 3,000, but I'll take 2,500.
2,500.
89, Steel Bar 180 and Downtown Avenue Hospitality.
This is also an offer of compromise to resolve the charges.
Is there food or no food?
Excuse me? There's food.
Well,
they were closed for renovations over this whole period of time, and now they're just reopening, and there will absolutely be food.
Okay.
Is the license still in safekeeping?
Yes, I think so, but although they were taking it out either today or tomorrow to reopen for this weekend.
Okay. 3,500 accept.
3,500 accept.
It is still in safekeeping as of right now.
Yeah, I know they're looking to take it out either today or tomorrow to go open up for this weekend.
The next item is 71, Havana Hospitality, LLC.
This matter's been put over. I'm just looking for it to be adjourned for one more meeting. This was one the chairman was very interested in being here for anyway.
This has been going on for way too long.
It's hard. They've had a problem getting the documentation that was requested, and I'm assured this time that we'll have the documentation by the 23rd. You can mark it final as far as I'm concerned.
So you're asking to 123?
I don't know what documentation you plan to provide.
Everything that the chairman brought up that day. The records from New Jersey, the affidavits from the other parties, this was all things that had to be put together.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a very nice day.
Thank you.
24, Bella Donovan, LLC.
Good afternoon, Frank Palillo. Offer of cancellation.
Chairman left specific instructions for you, Mr. Palillo.
Give me a hard time.
Cancel and bond.
Next item is 23, Bread of Lincoln, LLC.
Cancel and bond.
This is an application for a restaurant, tavern wine license. What number?
23.
Where's your client?
My client is not here. It's kind of a big company. I really didn't want to pull them away from it.
Okay, I mean...
What about all the deficiencies?
Everything's been rectified. The failure of the deficiencies, in all honesty, was the failure of their former general counsel, who felt that the authority wasn't entitled to these things and he wasn't providing them. Right, so that's why he's former general counsel, and we had to refile an application.
Is the lease straightened out with the usage?
The usage?
Yeah, in one of the prior disapprovals, it had a weird,
I think that may have been because it was filed as an RW. We refiled as a TW. It's largely a bakery.
Brett's Bakery, this is that Jewish chain? Do they have one in Union Square?
Yes.
Or?
Yes, and the principal is Jewish.
So the community board has the right information now?
Yes. The community board never raised an issue that I know of. Maybe you know something I don't know.
I don't even know. They serve wine and beer at this
They
this
do
bakery?
it at Union Square, yes.
They do? I go there all the time. Commissioner?
If everything's all set, we're talking about sending this back to licensing or to approve?
no, this is not approved. This is for you to decide. They reapplied under a TW.
Okay.
Only because it's a bakery and it's
ridiculously early hours. It's a day business.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm all right with it.
All right. 53, Zero Lounge Restaurant, Inc.
It's a default, I'm sorry, I'll wait. It's a default, I'm requesting that be returned to council. We have other matters with council's office that we've been, started hearings on, actually.
It's fine, back to council's office.
Yep, back to council.
Thank you. See you in 2 weeks.
Do you have something, sir? No. Okay. I don't have anything else signed in.
Okay.
Shall we move along?
Yes.
Okay.
I can't get the rest
Number
of it.
3,
I will accept.
3,000 accept,
number 4,
5,000 accept.
5,000 accept,
number 5,
6,500 accept.
6,500 accept,
6,
This one I was concerned about. Is the third charge usually 8,500? Right, it's more. Right?
Generally 9 or
yeah.
A counter at 10.
For number 6,
Yeah.
10,000?
counter at 10, yes.
Okay. 7,
6,000 accept.
6,000 accept,
8,
Cancel for the record.
cancel for the record,
cancel and bond claim.
Bond claim, yes.
9,
7,000 seems low to me.
I think we have, what, 5 packs, 3 packs, 1 pack? So this is kind of their one shot, I think so. Yeah, I think I'm okay with 7,000. I think it's a one
Yeah,
shot.
7,000
7,000, yep.
accept.
10,
6,000 accept.
6,000 accept,
11,
3,000 accept.
3,000 accept,
13,
This one I thought was low, but 6,000
6,000 accept,
accept.
14,
Withdrawal charge 2. 1,000 accept.
1,000 is what I had as well, too. Yep, okay.
17,
I'm at cancel.
cancel and bond claim or just cancel? Or?
Cancel and bond.
Commissioner Ford?
17, principal punches. Yeah, cancel and bond.
Okay. 25,
6,000 accept.
Just a moment here.
Mm-hmm.
You said 25, Tom?
yes.
6,000 accept, yes.
All right, 33 is being held over to the 23rd.
Yep.
So is 41.
Yep.
47,
6,000 accept.
You said 41 is being held over as well?
right.
2, 1, 23. What number did you just call? I'm sorry.
47,
6,000 accept, yeah.
48,
Withdraw 1, 2, and 3. I had counter at 9,000. And I wanted to know if the 4,000 was paid that is due on January 25th.
I'll double check again, but last time I looked it wasn't, but
Okay. It's counter at double. Commissioner?
Commissioner Ford?
Yeah, counter at 9,000.
50,
50 is cancel for the record.
For the record, yep.
51,
Letter of warning, okay.
Letter of warning, okay, fine.
54,
Letter of warning, okay?
Letter of warning, fine.
55.
I have double. Counter at 15,000.
Counter, what did you say?
15,000.
1,000. I'll counter at 15,000 too. yeah.
Okay, 57.
Cancel and bond.
Council and bond.
59.
2,000 accept.
2,000 accept, yes.
61.
Letter of warning, accept.
Letter of warning.
62.
I have counter at 5,000, second time, same offense. Commissioner?
Oh, no, no, usually the penalties are mitigated somewhat for the club licensees.
That's true.
So last one was 1,000,
That is correct.
so the 2,000 would actually be double that.
Yeah.
So
But they are not stopping, so
I'd be okay with 1,000 here.
at Tom's advice, I'll take the 2,000, but they better stop.
We're taking a 2,000 or 1,000?
That's the offer.
We'll take the offer, 2,000.
63.
I'll accept.
6,000 accept.
64.
I'm at 6,000.
6,000, yep.
65.
I'm at double. I'm at double for some reason. for
Disorderly
this.
premises.
No dancing.
Not since 2012.
It is a first time on.
Yeah, okay, 2,000 accept.
Accept.
68. I'm sorry, 66.
Sale to the owner.
I'm at double.
I would counter at 10.
Yep, counter at 10.
67.
Sustain 1, 6,000.
Yep, 6,000.
69 was withdrawn before the meeting.
Are they coming back or no?
It was just withdrawn. I think there was some,
The
because
application
the
was
opposition.
withdrawn?
It's 'cause it was a
74.
I'm okay with that.
Alcoholic cake.
4.
Just a proposed advisory about the definition of alcoholic beverages.
Yes. I'll approve too.
75.
6,000 accept.
75, 6,000 accept.
76.
Dismiss 1 and 2. Dismiss.
Dismiss.
77.
This was weird. Oh, sustain charge 1, 2,000.
2,000, sustain charge 1, yes.
Okay. 80.
1,500 accept.
1,500 accept.
81.
7,500 accept.
Patron found dead.
Drug overdose.
85.
Sustain 1 and 3. Dismiss 2 and 4. I'm at 3,000.
This is 85?
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can decide.
Yeah, no, 3,000.
All right. 86.
Sustain charge 2. Dismiss 1 and 3. I'm at 3,000.
Yeah, due to adverse history, yes, 3,000.
87.
Cancel and bond.
Very bad place. 87, yep.
88.
Cancel and bond.
Cancel and bond.
90.
1,600 accept.
I have nothing else. Do either of you have anything?
Thank you.
And we are done, Jonathan. Thank you.